And it's one of those deals where, you touched on it with both teams being ready to go, fired up. You don't have to worry about trying to get them motivated. But the one thing that Valley really wants to do is make sure that they play as well as they did last year, knowing that Dowling can score anytime and they can stop anything.
Well, with these two teams playing, coaches, we got big play athletes, big time athletes in this game. And Dave, Dowling's graduated quite a few. They got a whole new starting lineup playing their third game of the year with brand new starters. And the offensive side, I know Coach Wilson wants to address some of the issues the offense faced. They got 28 points in the first half against Waukee and laid on that goose egg in the second half, correcting the offensive mistakes.
Yeah, it's a young offensive team, and you're looking for that one person who's really going to stand out, a Ryan Boyle, at any particular position, and I don't think we've seen that person yet offensively. There is potential there. These kids are young, and every week they're going to get better. Jacob Zachary, one of these nights he's going to bust out and really run well. Cole Deskin, the running game is deep and it's good and it's strong. Quarterbacks, both of them have been doing very well, and look for them to get better tonight.
And for the Valley Tigers, Coach Bornas, it starts with Rocky Lombardi. Tremendous name to last name to have as a quarterback and as a family, but he's got a nice offensive line. I hear a lot about John Reardon, and Coach Wilson, who we'll talk to later, talked a lot about Sam Rogers, the starting right guard for the Tigers.
Yes, the offensive line is set very well on that left-hand side, or the split side. Reardon, as everybody knows, is going to be going to Nebraska. Sam Rogers did a great job last year stepping up as a sophomore. This year he's really coming into his own. He's got good size. They both have great feet, and I think they're pretty excited to have a guy like Rocky Lombardi standing there behind him.
Well, no question. And you look at some of the key athletes, in the backfield. Dowling still has two quarterbacks, Dave. J.T. Brown and Kurt Walding will share that position. Walding was injured last week against Waukee. He's got a slight separation, but he'll play. And the Maroons still have to figure out their quarterback, but they got to get their quarterbacks to get the offense going.
And I've talked to Coach Wilson and a couple other coaches about that. And, he would prefer to go with one quarterback, but he doesn't know which one at this point, because both of them, I asked them, what are you guys seeing in the film that we don't see on at the game night? And they're seeing the same thing. They're just both equal quarterbacks, and look for them to share time again tonight, just as you've seen the previous two games.
You're listening to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio along with the Central Iowa Sports Network. And tonight we're streaming on the Armed Forces Network. Mark Amadale along with Dave Marcooley and Keith Bornas. And Coach Bornas, we talked about Dowling's offense, but you mentioned Rocky Lombardi. But I'll tell you what, Austin Cook and Javon Mason, they do a nice job behind that big offensive line, and they can throw it to Braden Heald and Austin Hinkle have come up with some big catches for the Tigers this year.
They really have. I'm very impressed with Hinkle. Hinkle is one of those guys that when he was a freshman, he just came out and did some average things. I really wasn't sure he was going to mold himself into the quarterback or the football player that he's become. And, wow, what a force. He can tip a ball to himself, come down and go 78 yards with it. Javon Mason, everybody knows the Mason name, who has been in the Valley family for this many years. Javon is no different, except he's got more size. Good speed, good moves, good size. Austin Cook is a guy that's coming back off of a knee surgery, and he just wants to get back in and mess it up a little bit.
Okay. Again, with this, you're listening and watching the pregame show before Dowling and Valley tonight. We're at Drake Stadium. The rain is held off. We're going to kick off at 7:30. So, folks, if you haven't made a decision to come out, please do. Looks like the weather's held. The sophomore game has been moved to Monday night at Dowling at 6:30. Dowling and Valley sophomores will hook up then. Well, gentlemen, we talked about the offense. In this segment, let's talk a little about the defense. And, Dave, we'll start with Dowling, the home team tonight. It's homecoming for the Maroons. Nico Scigliano and Ross Otte, the leading tacklers for the Maroons. But the injury bug has hit the Maroons a little bit with Bronte Wells nursing injury, and Ross Otte, he's going to wear a cast. He was injured before the Waukee game. So the Maroons have some issues on it injury-wise, but the defense was playing solid. They pitched a shutout when they had to in that fourth quarter against the Waukee Warriors.
Yeah, the front seven really stepped it up the second half of last week. And Mark, when you have a little injury on Valley Week, all of a sudden that injury seems to go away on game night. I'm not sure how that happens, but it does. But that front seven really stepped it up. And, I was looking at the matchups with Valley's line, which is very strong, and with Dowling's front seven, and I really like that matchup. These guys, Bronte Wells, Ryan Mills, Steven Johnson, and Elias Bell, those are some great athletes up there. And the linebackers, Ross Adi and Hummel, we called their names time and time again last week. They played outstanding. So I really look for the front seven to really battle it out with the front line of Valley High School.
Coach Bornes on the Valley side, always good linebackers. Nick Yenser, Ben Campbell, certainly fine. Eric Henning, they do a great job. And Pete, the economist, has an interception and 8 tackles at corner. So the Tigers have the names, and some of them we recognize being from the Dowling side.
That's right. You know, starting with our linebackers with Ben Campos and Nick Yenser, one of the things that I noticed early on in the season, Nick Yenser was not getting the number of tackles that he's used to, but he's certainly getting blocked quite a bit and opening the doors for other people to step up. Pete Economos doing some great things in the defensive backfield with the interception and tackles. One thing is a little concerning for most people when you have a defensive back that's leading the team in tackles. It's not necessarily a great thing, but our defense is kind of designed that way because we do a lot of forcing with the corners. At the safety position, last year Turner Scott was at a safety, and now this year he's at a corner. Questionable as to how he's going to go with a shoulder injury that he got last week. Noah Barr, defensive back as a junior. He played last year as a sophomore, had a big interception return for a touchdown last year, and you can rest assured that he's thinking about that. Tonight will be kind of one of those games for kids like Noah Barr, who last year who got some playing time as sophomores. They did things right because they were scared not to do it wrong. And so now with a year under their belt with athleticism, they're going to try and push things. And so this is where mistakes happen, when your athleticism and your rules to the game don't always mix. And so it'll be a great game to watch if they can do their jobs effectively tonight against Dowling.
Again, you're listening and watching the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio, the Central Iowa Sports Network, and streaming tonight on the Armed Forces Network. Mark Amadale joined by Dave Marcoulé and Coach Keith Bornes from Valley, as we got a Dowling rep and a Valley rep throughout tonight's broadcast. And gentlemen, before we go to break, we'll catch up with both coaches. I had an opportunity to catch up with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling. Paul Yeager had an opportunity to catch up with Coach Swenson of Valley. Before we go to that, let's talk special teams. And Dave, we'll start with the Dowling Maroons. Kicking, Alex Heeman been steady, but he's yet to hit a field goal this year. Does a pretty good job with the punting, but Jack Kerner and Aaron Kraub on the punt return team. I know they're waiting for Michael Zachary to return, but the Maroons have been pretty steady in special teams thus far.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid this year. Traditionally, you go back in time, and Dowling is pretty strong on the special teams. I know they spend a lot of time on it. It's a very important part of the game, and they take it seriously. And Dowling's been very consistent and solid on special teams, so I look for them to it can be a big turning point in a game, Mark, one play.
It certainly can, and you know, Valley's had some pretty good kickers, Coach Bornes, in the past years. Cole Hahn has that responsibility. He's been solid, 4 for 4 in field goals. Nate Murphy's been handling the kickoffs, and you have 2 excellent punt returners and kickoff returners, so this could be one of those intangibles in tonight's game.
That's right. They always talk about the 3 phases of the game, and special teams is equally important as any of them. You know, we look at the kickers first. Cole Hahn is going to go down as one of my all-time favorite people to come through Valley, and his kicking is exceptional as well. Sticking with most of the field goals and PATs, Nate Murphy is a guy that has worked himself into being a great kicker as well, and his leg has become so strong. As a freshman, we'd be happy if he got it to the 20-yard line. Now he's putting it down on the 2 and sometimes into the end zone. As far as the punt returns go, you know, if one guy needs a break or drink of water because they've been on defense too long or offense too long, this year it seems like we have guys coming out of the woodwork that can go down and catch the punt coming out of the air or the kickoff return. And we're really excited about the potential of possibly getting one broke. Maybe not tonight. Dowling is just too well coached, and they're very athletic. But eventually this season, we're looking to take something back.
When you hear the word "we" tonight, guys, it could be Dowling, it could be Valley. But we're going to have the call here later on here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Coming up, head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic. I had a conversation with him. He'll join us after this next break. You're listening to and watching Dowling Catholic and Valley football tonight from Drake Stadium. It's Dowling and Valley here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcoulé, and Coach Keith Bornes back after these messages here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Save big at Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee. New Chevy Malibu 1LT. Power price, $89 per month. Yes, $89 per month in Waukee. During Truck Month, get 25% off select new Silverado crew cabs. Select Silverados also come with 0% for 60 months. Plus, you keep the $4,000 rebate. New Silverado Double Cab 4x4 LT. Power price, $189 per month. Help us raise 10,000 pounds of food for the Waukee Food Pantry in September. Schottenkirk Chevy on the west end of Hickman, Waukee. Save big at Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee. New Chevy Malibu 1LT. Power price, $89 per month. Yes, $89 per month in Waukee. During Truck Month, get 25% off select new Silverado crew cabs. Select Silverados also come with 0% for 60 months. Plus, you keep the $4,000 rebate. New Silverado Double Cab 4x4 LT. Power price, $189 per month. Help us raise 10,000 pounds of food for the Waukee Food Pantry in September. Schottenkirk Chevy on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
At Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
Action!
Fireplace Superstore is growing. We're building a great new location next to our current store at 109th and Douglas.
Cut!
What?
Action!
We don't want to move it, so we're putting everything on.
Cut! Action!
Our warehouses are too full, and this building's going to go up fast, so we need
Cut!
you to. Seriously, please help us move. Everything's on sale. Fireplaces, patio furniture, grills, fire pits, they're all on sale at Fireplace Superstore, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue in Urbandale.
No. Welcome back to Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale along with Tom Wilson as we get set for Dowling and Valley tonight. the part of the Great American Rivalry game presented by the U.S. Marines here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Coach Wilson, thanks for joining us. And hey, Dowling and Valley, whether it be once a year or twice a year, you know the fans are going to show up. And tonight here at Drake Stadium.
All right, thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Coach's Athletic Hall of Fame, it's homecoming, and it's the game. So a lot of activities going on at Dowling. I know each class here has been getting ready for this week's game, getting ready for the activities going on tonight and tomorrow with the students, but also doing a lot of their service project and raising money, raising some funds and stuff to help out the West Des Moines Human Services. I think that's tremendous. It's been a lot of activities at Dowling. A lot of it has to do with the community of West Des Moines.
Well, it does, and as you said, there's so many things going on, and then you factor in the Great Rivalry Series as well, doing that with Valley Dowling again this year, and eventually we're going to play a game, and certainly we can look forward to that. But you mentioned the service project, which I think is tremendous. Casey Tickle does a great job of organizing things like that. So just another one that she's organizing to help others, which is really what Dowling's all about.
Well, Coach, a week ago I said, well, now you've got a week of game tape after the Urbandale game. Now you've got 2 weeks of game tape. I know you're behind a game after the rainout against Cedar Rapids Xavier, the canceled game, but last week a 28-21 win over a very tough Waukee game, a game that you led 28-14, but Waukee shut you down in the second half and kind of left that bitter taste in your mouth. But you know what? That defense, a lot of positives out there, and a lot of it was on the defensive side.
I totally agree with you. It's like I told our kids, and I said in the post game that, we played the game hard. We didn't always play it well or very intelligently, but we played the game hard, and we put our defense in some very difficult spots, and they kept coming up big for us. And there at the end of the game, Bronte gets pressure on the quarterback, and he flushes him out towards their boundary, and then they overthrow. I think it was their receiver number 25 at the back of the end zone. So hard-fought game, tough game. Happy to come out of there with a win. You mentioned, some discouragement. Really, the penalties and turnovers. We shoot ourselves in the foot, and that's certainly no disrespect to our opponents, but that's something we've got to get taken care of, and so.
Well, Coach, you had, again, sharing the two quarterbacks, J.T. Brown, Kurt Walding. They both rushed for a touchdown. They both threw for a touchdown. Unfortunately, it was just in the first half. The second half of the Waukee defense took over. But 276 yards of total offense and 131 on the ground. I know, Cole Deskin probably didn't have his best day. Kurt Walding was your leading rusher, and Jacob Zachary your second leading rusher. So, you had it evenly distributed, but yet, like you mentioned, some drives just kind of stalled out.
Oh, they did. And, Deskin had 14 carries and for 41 yards, and we've got to get him, freed up and things like that. And that's just consistency in the offensive line. Obviously, Cole will probably be the first to tell you there's things he can do better, but, I think it's consistently up front that we've got to sustain drives, and, then we start getting penalties and we get ourselves behind the sticks, which makes it hard, and you're playing catch up all the time, and a couple of turnovers certainly hurt us where we lose possessions of the ball on the punt return and things like that. So, we've just got to get better, and I think this team will, as we mentioned, all new starters, which will be is always interesting, and I think these kids will continue to grow and mature, and by the time the year's over, hopefully we can be healthy and be a tough out.
As we mentioned last week on the post-game show, Brendan Doherty, what a game he had. An interception, almost returned for a touchdown. He also had a fumble recovery on a kickoff, and was one of the leading tacklers along with Ross Oddie and Nico Scigliano, and Brendan Doherty, a young man, didn't play last year, has a Division I baseball scholarship, and yet really stepped up. And I think you're looking for leaders all over the place, but on defense, he's one of them, and one of many, maybe.
Oh, he is, and I was really happy for him. He's such a good kid. And as you mentioned, he came in and made plays and did a great job. And I thought Moses Dwell had a very good night. He had the pass interference penalty that I'm not sure anybody agreed with, but it is what it is. But there's kids that are stepping up and doing a good job. If I try to name them all, I'd forget somebody. But just pretty pleased with how that defense has continued to evolve, and we just have to do it team wide now.
Well, Coach, tonight it's the Valley Tigers, and they had your only loss in the last couple of years, and now an opportunity this year to see where you're at. This is the last night of a non-district game, so next week you start district play. In the matchup with Valley, they're off to a 3-0 start. They're ranked number 1. They got a lot of players returning, and yet they may have been untested. Their opponents are 1-8 going into tonight's game, but that's all on the table. The matchup and some of the things you see as you scout the Valley game tonight.
Well, it looks like a typical Valley team to me, in that you look at them offensively. Coach Swenson may be spreading his offense out a little bit more, but yet it's a heavy run team with a very good offensive line. But then they've got Rocky Lombardi at quarterback, which I believe he's got a couple of Division I offers, and they've got a Division I offensive lineman, and there may be another one in Sam Rogers before it's all said and done. So it's a very good offense, and typical of what Coach Swenson puts on the field year in and year out. Defensively, I've said many times through the years, I've got a lot of respect for Randy Rebarger, and it seems like they're pitching shutouts all over the place, and it's tough for teams to score, and really a lot of speed on defense, and they're not big, but they're quick, they're physical. They're very well coached, technically sound, and one of the secrets to Valley has always been their solid special teams play, and this team looks no different. So there's a reason why they're ranked number one. A lot of these kids got experience a year ago. Excellent football team, and obviously very well coached.
Coach, as we look at the keys tonight, Dowling and Valley, what are some of the keys for Dowling to be successful? I know the penalties have got to be right in the top three, if not the top two, for your team.
Yeah, certainly correct. And I think it comes down to running the football. For us, we've got to be able to stop their run. They have done a really good job of developing that. Javon Mason's only a sophomore, but an excellent running back, and they split him out as a wide receiver some. Try to make them one-dimensional. If we can stop their run and then force them to pass, and which is very difficult to do, certainly easier said than done, we can try to get after Rocky and pressure him some. For us, we have to be able to run the football. We mentioned earlier Deskin and Zachary and those guys. We have to be able to sustain some things up front for us to be able to establish the line of scrimmage.
Coach, best of luck tonight.
Iowa Catholic Radio, CISN.TV, and the Armed Forces Network. Coach, last week, good performance against Southeast Polk.
It was. I thought we saw improvement in the areas we were looking for improvement. So when you can do that and get a win, you got to feel good as a coach, and I'm happy where we're at right now. I don't know what that'll mean tonight, but we'll find out here in a little bit.
How is it you keep the guys, you don't have to motivate for a game like this, but how do you just keep them focused and not out of control when they're looking at the way they played last week and knowing what's tonight?
I think they do a pretty good job of it. These kids you'd be surprised. When they look at things, they're obviously excited. They're all jacked up tonight. But once it's kicked off, everything settles in. You can go nuts in the locker room before kickoff. It's just not productive, because the four-quarter game is a long game, and all of the pregame bravado and whatever you can do in the locker room, it all disappears after the ball's kicked. It really comes down to who can execute, who can stay away from mistakes, and who can block and tackle. That's going to win tonight's game.
Number 5, there's a lot of, you look at this team, you got a lot of little brothers. They are not playing little. They've all kind of stepped up and to be big players.
Well, we were hoping. We needed them to. It's still a ways to go with those guys, but I like where we're at right now. I think with all of our kids, we found out in the first 3 weeks some things about certain players, who can do what and who can't. And beyond that, we just have to see steady improvement. And then, this game would be better for both of us, I think, if it was week 6 or 7, but it's not. So we'll play it tonight, and then we got to move on and refocus after tonight's game.
Maybe that's week 10 or 11, but that's a whole nother discussion for another time. You're very familiar with this team. Some of these guys, 2 years ago, they played in this environment as a sophomore game, so they're not a stranger to that. Is that something you draw on?
No, these guys they've been competing in big venues. Obviously Dowling was in the Dome the last 2 years. A lot of our kids, we played in the semis 2 years ago, but they've been in the Dome watching us play in championship type events before. So this isn't going to be a venue that intimidates any of our guys. It's still a football game, and the 100-yard field's the same size at home. So
Rocky Lombardi, he's developed. I see him walk by here as you're getting ready to come out onto the field. Talk about his progression. I know we talk about him every week, but he seems to improve every week.
He does, and we've seen an improvement in the area of staying away from big mistakes, and that was something we had to have this year. So I like that. We're plus on the turnover margin, and the team that's plus tonight on turnovers will win this game.
And you've got none on the year. I don't know if that's a jinx or not, but what have you done to get to that point?
I just think you have to focus on it. There's going to be mistakes made tonight. These guys don't get out of position. In the first 3 games we've had situations where we could create where the defense was out of position, and you can stay away from mistakes. These guys are always in position. So if you told me we weren't going to have any turnovers tonight, I would say great. I think we have a great chance to win, but that's probably not realistic.
This team that you're playing, all new starters, but that doesn't matter to you at all.
No, their talent pool is so deep. These are good players they have. I mean, they're as good as anybody in the state. So then they've played 2 games now. This would probably been the year to play them in the opener, but they've got a couple games under their belt. We've got 3, and we'll just let it fly once it's kicked.
So it doesn't matter. You kind of know some of the systems. You have to prepare for a system. Do you have to prepare for players knowing that the personnel is different?
I think it's a little of both. You know, last year with Boyle at quarterback, that was a different animal. I think with this team, they're just good athletes all over the board. I don't think there's any surprises waiting for us on their offense or defense. I just think it's going to come down to execution, and we'll see how tough we are tonight.
This is a fun one to play in for you, isn't it?
Well, how can it
be a part of? I should say.
Sure. How can it not be? I mean, if you're involved in high school football and to come out here in this venue and play against this team, if you can't get excited about this, you should find another job as a coach.
Not your problem?
Not a bit. Not a bit. We're excited.
All right, Coach. We'll talk to you at halftime.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, that's head coach Gary Swenson. This is Paul Yeager on the pregame show, and we will continue in just a moment. You're listening to the pregame show, the rivalry game between Dowling Catholic and the Valley Tigers. We're back in a moment here from Drake Stadium on Iowa Catholic Radio, CISN.TV, and the Armed Forces Radio Network.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The Ohio State University. The University of Texas Southern University.
California, Berkeley.
Old Dominion University. Harvard University.
The University of Virginia.
Texas A&M. Norfolk State University. University. Arizona State. Pennsylvania State University.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale now joined by 2 of our military personnel here tonight, the U.S. Marines, as we have the rivalry game, the Great American Rivalry game between Dowling and Valley here at Drake Stadium. Kickoff here in just a matter of moments. And to my right is Moses Garcia, Corporal Moses Garcia, and to my left is Michael Lindy, Sergeant Michael Lindy. And gentlemen, welcome. And Moses, thank you for joining us here tonight. A little damp, but we're going to have the rivalry game between Dowling and Valley.
Yes, it is. Thanks for having us. Definitely could have had a little bit better weather, but, you know, we're out here and might as well make the mess of it, right?
Absolutely. And Sergeant Lindy, you know, you're out of the old SEAL office. You're one of the recruiters, but, you know, what brings you guys here? Great American Rivalry Week, Dowling Valley. You heard about this game here in Central Iowa?
It's a big one. You know, here for the competition, the competitiveness, and just here to watch a great old football game.
Well, we're going to have that tonight. It's going to be rain, no thunder or sleet, but we're going to have the game. Well, Moses Garcia, let's talk about this series. Top 100 games you guys feature, and it's Armed Forces on the Armed Forces Radio Network. We're broadcasting this game all to your comrades overseas. And first of all, on behalf of everybody here, we thank you both for your service and your brothers and sisters in the military for your service. And we're 1 week removed from 9/11.
Thank you. Yes, so Great American Rival Series, yes, they cover the top 100 games in the country. So this is just pretty much to show pretty much the tough battles these young men are going through in these football games. These are some of the toughest battles they've had, and it shows the camaraderie and the teamwork that they build out here.
Yeah, certainly a lot of work there, Moses. And Sergeant Lindy, you look at the competition. What brings you here? You got your fellow brethren down on the field presenting awards. There'll be an MVP of tonight's game, and it's Dowling and Valley of all things.
Oh yeah, it's great. We're looking out there and everything, and we're gonna see who brings the MVP, and then I'm pretty sure the competition is gonna be tight, but we'll do it.
Well, I know you both are involved with recruiting, U.S. Marine Corps, and Corporal Garcia, talk about the recruiting aspect. You're here in Des Moines, you recruit, you're into these schools, and you see a lot of these young men and women that may be future in the military.
Yes, and yes, we do work with these students on a daily basis. That's pretty much what we do. We work with these young men and women every day, and the sports players definitely have a lot more mindset for it. They have that team feeling, and they have that brotherhood that they get on these football fields out here.
And of course, you guys were both in high school. How did you get recruited, Sergeant Lindy? You were recruited at one point in time. I think you were from Florida, and look where they sent you, Central Iowa, here in the rain.
Yep. It was a great thing. Saw a recruiter there that day at school, and he talked about a few things, and it sounded like great opportunities and a really great way to start a life and just give it that boost. A lot of people need it. They just the help and everything.
Well, we certainly love being part of the Great American Rivalry Series. Matter of fact, I was looking it up. It was 2009. We did our first broadcast from here as part of the Dowling Valley Great American Rivalry Series here on Iowa Catholic Radio, tonight on Central Iowa Sports Network. And, of course, we're streaming through the Armed Forces Radio Network. So I know you both have comrades, brothers and sisters across overseas that are fighting for this country, defending this country. You want to say hello to anybody, Moses?
Not anybody in particular. Actually, all my friends and family are close right now. So for now, yeah, they're all here home and safe.
All right. And how about you, Sergeant Lindy? You got some folks in Florida probably hearing your voice.
I don't know about them too much in Florida, but I got a couple friends doing a little thing out in Japan right now, and I'd like to say hello to them and everything, and wish them some good training out there.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for the service to our country, for what you do. Thanks for joining us here, and it should be a great game, Dowling and Valley. It always is. Who do you think is going to win, Moses?
It's going to be a close one. I don't know. I played Dowling in high school, so I'm kind of rooting for Dowling on my side over here.
Wow. Well, Sergeant Lindy, you can break the tie right here.
Yeah, I want to go for Valley. I like a little competition. You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, the rivalry series is on. Dowling and Valley coming up here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Our thanks to Corporal Moses Garcia and Sergeant Michael Lindy for joining me here on the pregame show. We'll take a break and come back with the kickoff and more pregame here on Iowa Catholic Radio, the Central Iowa Sports Network, and the Armed Forces Radio Network.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale along with Dave Marcoulier and Keith Borness up here in the press box where it's nice and dry. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us here on Rivalry Week, Dowling and Valley. Dave, we got somebody else in the press box with us, somebody from the opponent. You guys did a great job. I hear you look good on TV, Dave.
Yeah, we've never had a Valley guy in our booth with us.
Are you going to be okay?
I don't know. We'll see. We've been talking. We're trying to work through some things up here, but I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, we have had that opportunity to get to know each other a little bit better. And the one thing that I'm excited about with being up here with you guys is, to steal a line from Catholic Radio, you guys have been under the same management for 2,000 years. And, to just see that camaraderie and that consistency and great humanitarian output is wonderful. And, this is going to be an exciting night to be able to watch a great game with two great guys.
Just keep Mr. Bakey and Mr. Thornton off of my sitting next door, Mr. Bornes. If you could take care of
I'll take care of your
those
light
guys,
work for you.
I'd appreciate it. Let's go down the field. I know we got two guys that don't have umbrellas right now, and that is Paul Yeager and Brian Morris covering the game on the sideline. Brian's going to be on the Dowling sideline, and Paul, he's going to move away from you, Keith. He's going to be down on the Valley sideline. Gentlemen, take it away. Brian?
You want me? All right, I'll go. How about that?
All right, go ahead, one of you.
All right, I'll go. We're now, of course, going to have the anthem as soon as we're out here. But, yeah, Keith and I normally paired together, now back together with Brian, so this should be a good game tonight.
It'll be a great game tonight, and the Maroons are going to test the Valley Tigers, that's for sure, tonight, and I think we're in for a good game, Paul.
All right, I know we need to pause. We'll go back upstairs.
We're going to have our pregame prayer, so we'll keep you guys live with that as we get ready for our pregame prayer and our national anthem, Dowling and Valley, here at Drake Stadium.
Help us to appreciate the opportunities you give us, that we may be able to give you greater glory. Help us also to be effective and really dedicate ourselves to fair play and good sportsmanship. We pray in the name of Jesus our Lord. Amen.
Our pregame prayer and also the national anthem as we get ready to go here on Drake Stadium. Paul Yeager alongside Brian Morris. And Brian, the wind has kicked up, the rain has gone away. I don't think we're not playing on grass. This should be an awesome. It's just a light crowd experience tonight.
No, it really is, and that's the unfortunate thing about the weather. It has probably drove some fans away tonight, but like you said, Paul, I'm looking at the flag. It's probably coming out of the north about 15 miles an hour, which could impact the passing game a little bit in this first half.
Well, we'll be watching Rocky Lombardi for the Valley Tigers tonight. You talk about that passing. It was pretty sweaty a couple of weeks ago when they played at Iowa City West. Coach Swenson said, hey, they had a hard time holding the football. It's a little different condition tonight. It's the rain.
It wasn't. You know, we've been out here for a couple hours, and it was been pouring until about 15 minutes ago, and it stopped, and hopefully it'll be passed through here, and we'll have a great night for football.
All right, let's talk a couple of players. You've heard John Reardon mentioned up front, Sam Rogers for Valley on the offensive line. Who on the defensive line for Dowling are those two guys going to be going up against, and where is that matchup, and how good could it be?
I think Bronte Wells is pretty important for Dowling on that defensive line. He takes a lot of pressure, which allows the linebackers to blitz. Last week in Waukee, Dowling had about probably 5 or 6 sacks and about 8 or 10 hurries. So I think that's going to be key, is if Bronte can do his job, take a couple of blockers, that'll free up somebody else.
Well, and that'll open up. We'll find out what can Javon Mason do. Another Mason for Valley. Javon probably not quite to Tyus's level yet, but he's only a sophomore. This kid should be playing in the pregame, not the big game.
No, I saw him on some highlights, and I thought He looked just like his brother, and as a sophomore, he's very impressive.
All right, so Rocky Lombardi's going to try to find Austin Hinkle. It's the little brother connection. It's another Hinkle. It's another Campos. But what's that pass defense of Dowling Catholic?
Well, right now, Dowling struggled a little bit, to be quite honest, on the defensive side of the ball. Urbandale had a lot of success with the deep ball. Last week, Dowling got a few things changed up. They put a nickel back there to help out on the back end. So tonight will be about adjustments, I think, in the defensive backfield.
And a couple other things that we need to watch out for. On the offensive side for the Maroons, we know the dual quarterback situation up front. Valley is missing Turner Scott tonight with an injury in that secondary. Are we going to see a lot of throwing tonight out of the Maroons, do you think?
You know, Dowling has come out, Paul, and done a lot of that throwing those 2-yard plays or those out in the flats. They haven't really done vertical a lot. Maybe that's by design, maybe not, but we'll see. They just haven't had exposure to that these first 2 games.
And it is Campos at linebacker now, not on the line for Valley. That'll be one kid to watch is Ben Campos. He'll be trying to get through that offensive line of Dowling Catholic. Where are some of those good players up front for the Maroons?
You know, they've got a whole new team out there from last year. They have a sophomore, Zach Ross, who I've heard really good things about. I think they're still trying to gel, to be quite honest, Paul, and I think that's why some of this running game for Dowling, it's going to be a work in progress, but again, as a Dowling team, as a Valley team, they're all going to get better as the year goes on.
Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. I'm Paul Yeager. I'm going to the Valley sideline. We're going to send it to a break now. Kickoff in just a moment. You're watching Iowa Catholic Radio, CISN TV, and also on the Armed Forces Network. Back and kickoff next from Valley Stadium.
Miss your hometown clothing store, the one that had it all, everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we got it all.
Tonight, Central Iowa Sports Network presents.
Cole's going to get the call up the middle. He sees a seam. 10-5, touchdown Maroons. He's got a seam. 5-2-1, touchdown Valley Tigers.
Central Iowa Football, live from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Central Iowa Football is brought to you by the Atlantic Bottling Company, CenturyLink. Central Iowa Football, live on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Central Iowa Football is also brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields. Are you ready for some football?
Looks nice and dry. Paul and Brian, well, Keith and Dave, they're on their own because the rain may come in. But I'll tell you what, we're going to have kickoff here. Valley's going to kick off and defend the north end zone, and Dowling will receive. So, Dave, we're going to see the Dowling offense out there first.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, one of the keys to the game is Dowling has got to hold on to the football tonight and sustain drives. The best way to beat Valley is to keep their offense off the field.
All right. Well, we'll see how that transpires. And first the kickoff here, Coach Bornas. Valley going to be playing on punt coverage or kickoff coverage here.
Yeah, you know, we're talking about Nate Murphy coming into his own as a kicker, and with that strong wind behind him, you expect a deep kick just like that one was.
Okay, and it's returned by Dowling, and the Maroons have it, and that's Jack Kerner across the 25, still on his feet, the 30, misses a tackle, 35, trying to go outside the numbers, and finally wrestled down at about the 34-yard line, and that's where the Maroons will be in business, gentlemen. 1st and 10 from the Dowling 34, Dave Marcoulier.
Boy, a real wide hole on the Dowling's left side opened up for Jack, and I thought he was going to be able to get through that, but it closed quickly. He tried to pop it back, and Valley did a nice job making the tackle.
And we want to thank Ashworth Vision Clinic for supporting our broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic, located 60th and Ashworth in West Des Moines, 440-4610. All right, first down for Dowling, and the quarterback is Kurt Walding on first down. He fires it over the near side. It's caught, and out of bounds is Bliss, as Jonathan Bliss makes reception right about the 39-yard line, a pickup of 5. So talk about the Valley defense here, Coach Bornas.
You know, when you talk about Valley's defense, they do move around the field very well, but we're going to be tested tonight as far as picking up those short pass routes. Dowling's quarterback has got a very good arm. He's very accurate.
All right, out of the shotgun, and here's a read option, handoff straight up the gut, and it goes to the tailback for the Maroons. And let's see which one got the carry, and it might be Zachary right up across the 40 up to the 42-yard line.
Tried getting a hole between Alex Palmy and Zach Ross over on the right side. We're going to see a lot of interesting defenses from Valley. I'll talk about that a little more as the game progresses here,
Right,
Mark.
3rd and 2 for the Maroons. They're going to keep it. Here's Walden trying to get around left end, puts his shoulder pads down. He's going to step out of bounds, shy of the first down, back to a yard loss, back to the 41-yard line. Good pursuit that time by the Valley Tigers, led by Pete Economos.
Pete Economos is doing a nice job coming in and filling up. And, you know, when you talk about good defensive play, when an offense is going to run to the sideline and try and stretch that out, defense needs to just stretch that out as well and use the sideline as an extra defender.
All right, Dowling will be forced to punt, and standing in there will be Alex Heeman. He stands right around his 27-yard line. And back deep for Valley as the punt goes high, as the wind has a stake in that. It takes a Valley bounce as it'll be down by Dowling right at the 40-yard line as the Maroons down it there by Jacob Schiedenhelm, and 1st and 10 Tigers from their own 40. So with 11:06 to play here in the first quarter, no score, Dowling and Valley. Dave Marcoullier here on this rivalry game from Drake Stadium on a very damp night.
Well, Valley did exactly what they wanted to do, is hold Dowling 3 and out, and that's exactly what Dowling did not want to happen. Valley's got great field position on the 40-yard line, and Dowling's going to have to be ready for the quickness of the running game for Valley High School.
All right, 1st down Tigers, and Rocky Lombardi brings his troops to the line of scrimmage, and the handoff goes to Javon Mason, and he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage, bounces off a tackle, and he's going to be wrestled down right back at the 36-yard line. So a loss of 4 on the play on 1st down. It seemed like everybody brought the house there, Coach Bornes and the Dowling defense, as they picked up that Valley offensive line. And Elias Bell also in there on the tackle. Coach Bornes?
Dave was talking about one of the big things that Dowling needed to do was stop that running game. And that's one of the biggest things that Valley needs to do is establish that running game. And so I think everybody figured it was going to happen on that first play.
All right, here is Lombardi on play action, rolls to his left, and still on his feet, and he's finally tries to break a tackle and puts his head down, gets a lot of that yardage they lost on 1st down back, picks up 9 up to the 44-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Tigers.
Valley ran the counter bootleg that time, their quarterback bootleg. They pulled the left guard and tackle, and Lombardi faked it and rolled to his left and was able to pick up about 3 or 4 yards.
And it'll bring up 3rd down for Valley. They're going to spot it at the 44, so a pickup of 8, as it was a 2nd and 14 on that play. Tigers now with 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left, and out of the shotgun is Rocky Lombardi, the 6'4 junior, and he'll keep the football, and he's got the 1st down the far sideline, still on his feet, inside the 30, he may go, inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown Valley. Rocky Lombardi from 56 yards went around left end, and he caught the Maroon defense out of whack there, Dave Marcoullier, because nobody was there on coverage, and Keith Bornes, an excellent read by Rocky Lombardi.
You know, one of the things that Rocky Lombardi really needed to work on from last year to this year was just making sure that his feet were going to be able to operate better this year. And as they did, he did a great job of making the read. But, you know, his speed is pretty good, but John Raridan out there in front leading that down the field, it was really well executed.
All right, Cole Hahn in for the extra point. The ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So the rivalry has begun. We have our first score, and it's the Valley Tigers. They lead at 7-0 with 9:43 left in the first quarter from Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcoullier, Keith Bornes, Brian Morris, and Paul Yeager on the sideline. We'll get a report from one of those two guys when we return. You're listening to Iowa Catholic Radio, coverage of Dowling and Valley here on the Central Iowa Sports Network and the Armed Forces Radio Network.
Save big at Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee. New Chevy Malibu 1LT. Power price, $89 per month. Yes, $89 per month in Waukee. During Truck Month, get 25% off select new Silverado crew cabs. Select Silverados also come with 0% for 60 months. Plus, you keep the $4,000 rebate. New Silverado Double Cab 4x4 LT. Power price, $189 per month. Help us raise 10,000 pounds of food for the Waukee Food Pantry in September. Schottenkirk Chevy on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
And back at Drake Stadium alongside Dave Marcooley and Keith Bornis, Mark Amadale. The kickoff by Valley goes in the end zone. Maroons will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Let's go down to the Valley sideline on our Shields sideline report with Paul Yeager.
I think Coach Gary Swenson was watching the Iowa State game last week. That play was set up on the previous play. There was a busted coverage on the first one, and they ran exactly the same play, but this time Rocky was keeping it the whole time. Made one move, made a guy miss, and he's in the end zone. They're up early.
They certainly are. Thanks, Paul, for that report. Our Shields sideline report, Paul Yeager. Now on 1st down, the Maroons hand it off, and that's Zachary with the football. And Michael Zachary across the 20, and he's wrestled down right about the 23-yard line for bring up 2nd down and 7. And Dave Marcooley, the Dowling offense, this is, you talk about having time, you have to respond to a score. The Tigers score, and on that first drive, 3 plays, 60 yards in the Valley offense, and now the Maroons looking to score here. It's a 2nd down now and 7 for the Maroons. Read option, handoff Zachary. He finds his way. He fights the middle. He may go inside the 40. He's inside the Valley 50. It's a foot race down the near sideline. Michael Zachary inside the 10-5. Touchdown Dowling. A 76-yard run for Michael Zachary. And gentlemen, welcome to Rivalry Week. We've got big plays tonight, and Dave, Michael Zachary busted through.
Jacob Zachary.
And
you know what, Mark? We knew that was going to happen. Sooner or later, he was going to pop one inside because he's got the ability. He's a very strong back, just a junior, 6'1", 210 pounds, and if he gets through there, no one's going to catch him.
2 plays, 80 yards, and Coach Bornis, both defenses have now given up big plays, which is unusual in this series.
Yeah, you talked earlier that the people out were listening and watching were going to hear "we" quite a bit. And when Dave's talked about "we," knew that was going to happen. Both sides knew that was going to happen.
Extra point is up and good by Alec Heeman, and we're tied at 7, ladies and gentlemen. 7-all, Dowling and Valley here in the rivalry series from Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale joined by Keith Bornis and Dave Marcooley. We come back, we'll have the kickoff as we're tied at 7 with 9:02 to play. Back after these messages on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium, along with Coach Keith Bornis and Dave Marcooley and Mark Amadale. Here's the kickoff by Heeman. It's picked up by one of the upbacks on a squib kick across the 25 and still on his feet across the 30 and up to the 35-yard line. Nice return by the young man for West Des Moines Valley, and I believe that was Javon Mason back there. He also returns kickoffs, and he did a nice job, Coach Bornis, there.
Yeah, Javon Mason does a great job both in the backfield and as a receiver. So I guess it's actually for 3 jobs that he does, also returning punts and kicks. But one of the things that I think people that watch a lot of football notice is Badal Naba is out there leading that charge, and he got downfield very well. Keep pushing Dowling back on that particular kick return.
All right, the Valley offense is now set after the Maroons went 2 plays, 80 yards. Jacob Zachary on an 80-yard, or capped off an 80-yard drive. Now here's a handoff to Mason left side, and he tries to scoot outside the numbers. He does, picks up nice yardage up to across the 40, near the 41-yard line on 1st down. So nice run there. And Dave Marcooley, he made the tackle for the Maroons.
Well, Ross Audie was in there again, but he has that slight, small cast on his hand, Mark, from an injury last week, and he was unable to hold on to bring him down, but Ross had the initial contact there.
All right, to bring up 2nd down for Valley as this drive started at their own 37, and they now have it on the 41. A 4-yard run for Mason. Here's Lombardi back to throw, sets up in the pocket, fires downfield. Nice catch over the middle by Braden Heald, and he's picked up the first down. He crosses the 40 of Dowling inside the Maroon 35. They'll spot him down at the 33. Well-executed play there, Coach Bornas.
Braden Heald is one of those guys that Rocky grew up with over in Cedar Rapids, and their family made the transition over here to West Des Moines, and we're certainly glad to have that. One of the things that Coach Swenson has said many times about him is he runs routes very well. And so with that background between the two of them, Rocky shouldn't have a problem finding him if he's open.
27-yard gain, first down Valley at the Dowling 32. Out of the shotgun, here's Lombardi. Looks downfield, throws down the far sideline. The pass is incomplete. It was in and out of the hands of the intended receiver down there, number 85. And I'll tell you what, he had it, and Dave Marcouli, the Dowling defensive back, got all over Quentin Curry, who was the intended receiver for Valley, but the Maroon defensive back came in late.
Jacob Sheedenhill did a nice job on the coverage that time, and Rocky Lombardi is such a quality quarterback, Mark. He's thrown, I believe, 60 passes coming into this game without one interception. So he's right on when he throws that ball.
Yeah, 31 out of 60, no interceptions, 588 yards, 7 touchdowns without an interception. And he can run the ball, too. He's running for 36 yards this year. All right, it's 2nd and 10 Valley, and now here is pass on the near sideline, incomplete, as Rocky Lombardi tried to hit Braden Heald on a little square out pattern towards the near sideline, right around the 30-yard line, and it was incomplete. So we'll bring up 3rd and long now for the Tigers here, gentlemen.
Dowling had a double stun on that time, and they were bringing the house, and Lombardi, he really had to get rid of the football.
Yeah, that sailed just a little bit high. Go back to the last play with Quentin Curry down there. Great receivers will go up and get their hands higher than the defense, and Quentin just didn't get his hands up there.
All right, Lombardi's going to keep it on a 3rd and 10, and he tries to get outside the numbers, puts his head down. I think he got the first down. He's inside the 20. He did, and spotted down at the 18-yard line. And he laid a lick, Dave Marcouli, on Drew Madden as he finished the play. And does that remind you of a quarterback last year in this series named Ryan Boyle who used to do that to the opponents?
It looked just like him and Jack Kerner, and they're also taking a shot. So both those guys were in on that play.
All right, first down Valley. Line of scrimmage is the 18. A 14-yard run for Lombardi on 2nd and 10. And the rain is getting heavier here, gentlemen. But field turf here at Drake Stadium. Our officials are Chuck Britton, Tracy Richmond, Mike Stewart, Ryan Hannum, and Jack Jaspers. And now on a first down, here's a handoff to Mason, and he dives forward inside the 15 before he's gang tackled there by the Maroons, as I believe Ross Audie and company made the stop right about the 12-yard line, a gain of 4.
On both sides of the ball, we have families that have gone through Dowling and gone through Valley. And Paul made the comment earlier about little brothers. They don't want to be little brothers anymore. They're kind of coming into their own and doing some great things.
Well, sometimes this is a family rivalry. You have some of the kids, they've married spouses from each school,
Yes.
I think husbands are sitting on one side, the wives on the other. We've seen that. All right, an offset I formation. Now the Tigers want to talk it over. Gary Swenson calls a timeout, and we'll keep it here. With 6:48 remaining, first quarter, no score, or score is tied, 7-all. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcouli, Keith Bornas. And let's see if we can get, Mr. Yeager's over on the Valley sideline. And, Paul, does it look, it seems like it's raining a little harder down there. Is that true?
As that timeout was called, it lightened up just a little bit. I'm standing next to Jim Kirby, who is our sideline reporter for the home Valley games on CISN.TV, and he's got camera gear, and we'll be posting those pictures later on CentralIowaSportsNetwork.com. And he had to get the rain gear. So did everybody else around here. They all thought so much for that rain being done. But here's the thing: it has not stopped Valley in trying to throw the football. They are not letting a little wet football slow them down. Rocky has looked sharp on those, but that last collision that he had when he ran it, guys, I think Brian could probably hear the pop better from where he was at. That was quite a shot, and I don't think you need to be making that. But, what do I know?
Yeah, we thought we heard that up here in the press box. And Coach Bourne, remember Mr. Boyle last year for Dowling laying a lick on defenders a little bit?
Yes, I think everybody in the country.
Well, Rocky's picked that up for some reason. I don't know why. All right, it is Valley football, 2nd and 4, and on handoff to Mason. He tries to go through the middle, and he's kind of dancing around inside the 10, and that's where they're going to stop him, right at the 10-yard line. Pick up a 3, and it'll bring up 3rd and short here, Dave Marcouli, for the Valley offense. 3rd and less than 2, right about the 10-yard line.
Well, Javon Mason is such a quality runner for just a sophomore. I'm very impressed with how he never stops his feet moving. and he's a very difficult back to bring down. And Dowling defense has not seen a running back like him yet this year, and they're missing the first and second tackle, and he's able to keep his feet moving and pick up additional yardage.
All right, here it is, 3rd and 2 for the Tigers at the 10-yard line of Dowling, and now handoff right up the gut, and touchdown Valley. Nice handoff that time. Went right up the gut to Austin Cook, right over center on that read option. They had 3 receivers split to the left, split out the Dowling defense, took that extra linebacker out of there, Dave, and Cook went right up the middle and followed his guard and centers, Jack Wilson, Alex McFarland, and Sam Rogers right up the middle.
And there was a nice hole by the Valley Tigers up the middle, and he just had a head of steam on him and went into the end zone.
All right, that caps off the Valley drive, the extra point by Cole Hahn. And the ball is down, the kick is up as the rain continues, and it is good. So right now it's 14-7 Valley with 6:03 remaining in the first quarter. Gentlemen, we've got 21 points in the first 6 minutes of this contest. What's in store here at Drake Stadium? We'll find out if we take a break, and we will hear from Drake Stadium. Again, Valley 14 and Dowling 7, and we'll return to Drake Stadium after this time out here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, along with the Central Iowa Sports Network and the Armed Forces Radio Network.
At Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium. Here's the kickoff and the return now by Dowling as the Maroons have it. As on the return, it's Aaron Craw with it, and he's finally wrestled down at the 25-yard line. So it'll be Dowling football 1st and 10 from their own 25. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcouli, and Keith Bourne is here in the booth. Brian Morris and Paul Yeager on the side. They were having problems with Brian's mics. We'll try to get that resolved. But, Dave, for the Maroon offense on the field.
Yeah, Mark, I think that's what you call running into a brick wall.
On that return?
That's exactly what happened to Aaron Craw on that play.
All right, the Maroons now with 3 receivers to the left. The guy in the middle is Steve Sarcone. And the Maroons have 1 receiver to the right. And the quarterback is J.T. Brown. And J.T. fakes it to the left, and now he tries to go over right in and stays inside the numbers and picks up a couple yards from his own 25 up to about the 27-yard line.
That's a quarterback power play that Dowling Catholic likes to run, where they pull the backside guard and they block down on the play side. It's a play you'll see a lot tonight.
The kick-out block was exceptional on there. Linebackers just filled very well.
All right, 2nd down now for Dowling, 2nd and 8 from their own 27. And J.T. Brown, number 8, in at quarterback. Maroons going right to left towards the north end zone. J.T. on a read option, fires over the middle. Pass is caught and wrestled to the ground for a 1st down. Is a Dowling receiver on that sideline. And that might be Shazinski, David. He come from that right side, and it is Cole Shazinski, number 82.
And he did a great job holding on that ball, because he had 2 Valley guys pulling at the football. They weren't tackling him. They were trying to get that football. And Cole did a nice job holding on.
2 sides of the football, both of them are ignoring the elements out there.
Yeah, 11-yard reception, and now a 1st down for the Maroons. Dowling goes back to the ground game, and they hand it off to one of their tailbacks. And that's Cole Deskin in there, number 5, and tries to turn the corner and found a bunch of Valley Tiger white shirts there, the visiting team tonight, and they stacked him up at the point of attack, Dave, on the right end.
Year after year after year, Valley is so tough with their linebackers. They're quick, they're strong, they're 200, 220 in that range, and again, the linebackers are just flying to the ball.
All right, it brings up 2nd and 10 now for the Maroons as they back it up a couple yards. And now here is J.T. Brown. He'll keep the football, crosses the 40-yard line, and finally stacked up at about the 42-yard line on the play. And it'll bring up 3rd down for Dowling.
Ben Campos did a really nice job there. His feet had actually stopped moving as people were blocking into him, and yet when the running back came up, or a quarterback came up on him, he was able to keep his balance and not fall backward. You know, a lot of yards are gained after contact just because they tackle forward.
All right, it'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Maroons from their own 42. As Valley leads by a touchdown, the pass is incomplete as J.T. Brown went back to throw and tried to find his intended receiver. That was Tommy Wanek on the left side, Dave, running kind of a skinny post right around the hash on the left side, and the ball was tipped by the Valley linebacker, incomplete.
Nick Yunser, the linebacker, was able to get a hand on it. Otherwise, that ball was probably a completed pass.
Well, yeah, both the quarterback and the linebacker, I think both of them would like that play back.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, the Maroons forced a punt, and they will send Alex Heeman back at his own 30-yard line. Alex gets a punt away. It's a high end-over-end kick over on the far sideline, fielded by the Tigers at the 25, and on that far sideline, going down immediately is their punt returner, number 27, and the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 from there. So a nice punt by the Maroons, nice coverage by Dowling, and I'll tell you what, the Valley offense back on the field with 3:48 left to play here in the first quarter. It's 14-7. Valley leading Dowling here. You're listening to tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, 3 radio stations, 1150 AM, 88.5 and 94.5 FM. The Central Iowa Sports Network, our folks alongside with Pete Tarpey's group, and the Armed Forces Radio Network. So we're into Afghanistan and places overseas. Keith Bornes and Dave Marcoulé. Anybody over there you want to say hello to, please feel free. Tigers have the football, though, and they'll have a first down right at their own 28-yard line. Valley leading 14-7. Final minutes of this first quarter. Now here's Rocky Lombardi, handoff to Javon Mason. Mason trying to carry tacklers, and penalty flag down right at the 30-yard line. So a gain of 2, but we'll see what this is all about. As we haven't had too many penalties here, gentlemen, tonight.
No, it's been a very clean game, and even in here, to me, it just looks like it'd be something a little incidental. It's tough sledding on both sides of the ball, and with the exception of Mr. Zachary, who showed some great speed and bursting speed as he took that long run. But other than that, it's very tough sledding like everybody would expect in a Valley Dowling showdown.
And the penalty is a face mask against the Maroons, Dave Marcoulé.
Yeah, John Wagner is in there for Bronte Wells, who's nursing an injury, Bronte, this week. And John Wagner made the tackle on that. I think that's the first time we've called his name this year, Mark.
All right, it's 1st down and 4 for the Valley Tigers as the penalty assessed against Dowling. So the line of scrimmage up to the 35-yard line. Lombardi on 1st down to give this to Mason. Couldn't find a hole on the right side. Now bounces outside the numbers. Got the 1st down and finally hit and dropped at the 43-yard line for a pickup of 8 and another Tiger 1st down. And the thing is so dangerous about Javon Mason and Keith Bornes, you've seen Valley all year, is you may have a hole designed to go over the right tackle or left guard or whatever, but if that closes in, he has so much speed that he can reverse field, and we saw it there.
We did. And, you know, something else about Javon Mason, which is remarkable for an athlete, a player as young as he is, a lot of times a play like that turns into backyard football, and I'm just going to dance around as long as I can. He does not do that. He still moves forward.
All right, Lombardi on 1st down, fires it out, and the pass is caught near side by Braden Heald, and he's across the 45. They're going to spot him down at the 46 on the near side for a pickup of 4. So well-executed play. It's a play they went to earlier, and Lombardi led him too far. This time he hooked up with him.
I think a little better up-front blocking this time.
Yeah, Drew Madden came up and made the tackle on that one. And, you know, Dowling's going to play this bend but don't break philosophy where they want to keep these quick Valley receivers in front of them.
Well, Carlo Marble in there right now, number 1 on the near side. And he's had a tough week. The passing of his dad, Roy Marble, the funeral just the other day, and then he's back in. Good to see him in the lineup. Tigers with 2 receivers left, 1 on the right. And here's Lombardi, a lateral pass to the left side, and it's caught nicely that time by Braden Heald. He tried to get outside, picked up the 1st down. He crossed the 45 in the Dowling territory at the Maroon 43. I think they'll spot him down. Well-executed play as everything went left, Dave, and the Maroon defense was kind of back on their heels there.
Ross Audie and Jacob Schiedenhelm in on the tackle that time, Mark. Did a nice job flowing to the play. But Valley picked up a 1st down.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Mid-American Energy. Mid-American believes in safe, clean energy delivery to hundreds of thousands of people across Iowa. Log on to midamericanenergy.com. It's 1st and 10 Valley. The line of scrimmage is the Dowling 43-yard line. Rocky Lombardi out of the shotgun. fakes the handoff to Mason, keeps it around left side, and he's finally brought down at the line of scrimmage. You haven't seen that too often tonight, but he was hitting stuff right there as they tried to go off over by John Reardon and Jack Wilson. The Dowling defense met him head on there, Dave Marcoulier.
Yeah, at that time, I believe it was Sam Rogers who pulled from the right guard position. And the Dowling defensive lineman kind of followed Sam right to the play and was able to make the tackle.
No gain on the play, so it'll bring up second down. And, well, they gave him a half a yard, less than 10. And with a minute and a half left to play here in the first quarter, the Tigers now marching into Dowling territory, leading 14-7. Lombardi back to throw, fires it near side, and it's caught by Heald, and he's wrestled down right about the Dowling 35. He'll be shy of the first down by a couple yards. It'll bring up third and about 3. But again, they go back to that what works is that nice little sideline play, Coach Bornas.
Yes, and this is definitely a connection that Valley has wanted to have happen for a while. These two guys have, like I said, known each other for a long time. And for them to finally get some rhythm going, whether it's a 2-yard gain or a 6-yard gain, that's huge.
All right, here are the Tigers at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 2. Valley with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tight end is on the right. And here's Lombardi out of the shotgun. Rolls to his right, turns the corner. He's hit, puts his head down. Did he get it? Now he's shy of the first down. And they're going to mark him down right about the 35-yard line, which was the original line of scrimmage. And there's a lot of maroon jerseys in there, Dave Marcoulier, that had that well read as Valley tried to spread the Maroons off to the far side of the field, but Lombardi ran short side, and the Maroon Dowling defense was right there.
Yeah, it looked to me like Valley just ran straight zone blocking to the right that time, and Lombardi was going to try and outrun him on the corner. Dowling did a nice job with contain on that and bringing up a 4th down situation. And Valley, I believe, is going to take a timeout here. It's the end of the quarter.
End of the quarter, so we'll take a break ourselves with the end of the first quarter. It's Valley 14, Dowling 7, alongside Keith Bornas and Dave Marcoulier, Mark Amadale, Paul Yeager, and Brian Morris on the sideline. And we've come to end of one quarter here on the Armed Forces Radio Network, the Central Iowa Sports Network, and Iowa Catholic Radio. Back after these messages here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Action! Fireplace Superstore is growing. We're building a great new location next to our current store at 109th and Douglas. Cut! What? Action! We don't want to move it, so we're putting everything on. Cut! Action! Our warehouses are too full, and this building's going to go up fast, so we need you to. Seriously, please help us move. Everything's on sale. Fireplaces, patio furniture, grills, fire pits, they're all on sale at Fireplace Superstore, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue in Urbandale.
And welcome back to Valley Stadium. Mark Amadale alongside Dave Marcoulier and Brian Morris as we get set for the second quarter. Valley with a 4th and 2, and a give is to Mason, and I don't think he got it. Right at mid, the point of attack was the 35-yard line, and he needed to get a couple yards, and I don't think he got it, Dave Marcoulier, as they they spot the ball at the 34. He needed another yard. Dowling defense holds, and the Maroon offense will take over.
Great job by the Dowling front line that time. I believe Ryan Mills is the one who made initial contact, but credit Bronte Wells and Stevie Johnson also in there on that play.
And Paul Yeager, I know you're on the Valley sideline. That's a big stop for the Dowling defense right there.
The Maroons have been on the field for quite some time. You were kind of thinking that the Valley offense was maybe going to take their way just on the conditioning alone, but that play wasn't there.
All right, here's Dowling on first down. Back to throw, J.T. Brown. He's got a man wide open. Inside the 40-yard line is the Maroons, and that's Wanek. He's going to go all the way in for the touchdown. Tommy Wanek on the first pass from J.T. Brown. Hits him for a score. I saw really Kurt Walding back in there, Dave Marcoulier. What a pass that time by the Maroons.
And you know, that was his first read all the way. Kurt knew he was going there and just threw a great pass. And that's the same play that Wanek got open against Urbandale, wide open, and he did it again for a touchdown.
Unbelievable. So the Maroons march down and score. And now the extra point by Heeman. So it's 14-13 Valley, just underway here in the second quarter as Walding puts the ball down, and Heeman's extra point is good. We're tied at 14, Dowling and Valley here on Rivalry Week. The Great American Rivalry sponsored by the U.S. Marine Corps. I want to thank them for doing that. And we're tied at 14 back after this 1-minute break on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
It's good. And we're back here at Drake Stadium alongside Dave Marcouli and Keith Bornes, Mark Amadell, joined by Tom Moreland. And we're going to talk to Tom here, one of our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio, as a kickoff goes to the Tigers, and they fielded at about the 5-yard line and being knifed under. That's Austin Hinkle on the return, and the Maroons all over that on special teams. And all of a sudden, we're seeing energy. Both teams kind of feeding off each other at Dave Marcouli. Amazing what Dowling's done here in the last couple possessions.
Yeah, well, Moses DeWaw there just kind of looked like he was shot out of a cannon, because he came out of no place and shot through and made a real nice tackle down on the 14-yard line.
So Wanek on a touchdown reception from quarterback Kurt Walding is even the score at 14. And Tom Moreland, I'll tell you what, you picked a better game to come to.
I'll tell you what, these guys are showing some toughness after having to punt after that. One set of downs there, come back, throw that long pass for a touchdown, and then hold them, and what a great game.
I see a lot of scoring tonight, and now here on first down is a pass from quarterback Rocky Lombardi, caught by Hinkle, and he's the one that returned the kickoff, Dave, and he picked up some nice yardage on the near sideline.
Yeah, Valley's working on this short passing game, which they like to do. Lombardi's right on the number with it. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these times they try and pop someone deep.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Valley with a 2nd and short from their own 24-yard line. 2nd and 1, they'll call it, as they'll split out 2 receivers to the left. It's Austin Hinkle, one of them, and I believe Javon Mason is the other. Empty backfield, and the give is to the fullback this time. And he's hit and stacked up the line of scrimmage, but I think he got near the first down. They're going to stop the clock and give him the first down. So first down, Valley on a very short game. Tom Moreland, who joins us here tonight, we want to thank you for all you do supporting Iowa Catholic Radio and the folks here in Central Iowa. And
what a great night to be out. I mean, we had a little rain, but this is football weather. A little cooler, not too hot. It's stopped raining, and we've got 2 tough teams here that are battling out.
And not a bad crowd considering the circumstances. Tom with Marion Home Care. We'll talk a little more about that. One of our underwriters for Iowa Catholic Radio. Lombardi on 1st and 10. Now flush in the pocket, rolls to his left, gets around the corner, and he's finally wrestled out of bounds, or knocked out of bounds, right about the 30-yard line. Nice scramble that time by Rocky Lombardi. And Dave, I think he's gotten a little quicker since we've seen him a year ago.
Yeah, he has, and both outside receivers went deep that time, and I think he was looking to get the ball deep, was unable to do so. Nice coverage by the secondary of Dowling Catholic.
And they'll spot the ball right on the 31 of Valley, so it'll bring up 2nd and 4. Tigers need to get to the 35 to get a first down. They'll move Mason back to the backfield. He was split out wide to the left that previous play. Lombardi out of the shotgun with Mason beside him. Receiver to the near side is Braden Heald. And on the right side is Curry. And I think there's a handoff in the backfield. All of a sudden, the Dowling defense back and coverage and making the stop back maybe for a loss here, Dave.
Ronte Wells back in making the tackle on that play. Nice job penetrating Valley's offensive line.
And you mentioned Wells was out earlier with an injury, now back in apparently. So a loss of 2 back to the 29. I'll bring up 3rd down and long for Valley. 3rd and 6 from the Tiger 29. Tied at 14. We're at the 10-minute mark here of the second quarter. Dowling and Valley, the rivalry series presented by the U.S. Marines here on the Armed Forces Radio Network. Hello to everybody overseas from Central Iowa. Here's Lombardi. Back to throw, sets up in the pocket, now being flushed, rolls to his right, fires a ball downfield. He's got single coverage with Mason. The pass is incomplete. Javon Mason had coverage that time by Dowling Catholic's Moses Duwa, who wears number 4. And I don't know if the ball ended up sailing out of bounds, but I'll tell you what, Lombardi threw that ball about 50 yards in the air for an incompletion.
And that was Mason running downfield full speed, and he can get downfield. But, Mark, I think the ball landed out of bounds, so I'm not sure it was a catchable ball.
Might not have been.
It was hard to see from where we're at.
Tom Moreland, Marion Home Care. Weren't you involved with a few others, like Spirit Home Care? You've been involved with a lot.
We've got a few. Spirit Home Healthcare, Marion Home Care, and Marion Homes. Just as exciting as this game is that we've got one of the first exclusive senior livings, Catholic senior livings, to open in the last 30 years here in Des Moines.
We'll talk more about that. Here's a punt by Peyton Long, and the Maroons will let it bounce as Dowling lets it bounce inside the 25 as that was Jack Kerner on coverage, and Maroon offense will be out there 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line, tied at 14, Dowling and Valley. Let's try to go down to, let's try Brian Morris this time. Brian? Are you with us? We're still having trouble. Yeah, we're still having trouble with Brian's mic for some reason. And let's go over to Paul Yeager. Paul?
All right, that play right there on 3rd down was out of bounds, Dave. It was right in front of me, about 10 yards. It was a tough route. Mason did a good job just to make it look close. He would have needed almost a miracle to pull that one, but Valley fans thought maybe interference. It wasn't the case.
All right, good perspective there, Paul Yeager. Of course, the ball floating out of bounds. Nice coverage by Moses Duwall. Dowling offense on the field right now. It's a 1st down for the Maroons. And the read option as Walding hands it off and going down trying to turn the corner is Cole Deskin. And he does turn the corner. He gets across the 25, and they say it's right about the 27-yard line for a gain of 3.
And Cole Deskin had a little speed worked up there, and Ben Campos made a nice tackle from his linebacking position.
3-yard gain for Deskin. Brings up 2nd down and 7 for the Maroons. And Kurt Walding in at quarterback. Kurt gets out of the shotgun, looking to pass, now flush in the pocket. He's being chased, fires the ball downfield, and the pass is nearly intercepted. Pass goes incomplete. Tiger defender stepped right in front of him and did a nice job with that, and that was William Phillips who stepped in front of the ball and nearly had himself an interception as Kurt threw it to where the 2 receivers were at there, Dave.
Yeah, and pass was intended for Wanik. He was working his way back to the ball, which he should do once the quarterback scrambles, but was unable to get in the correct position.
All right, to bring up 3rd and 6 for the Maroons. As Walding back to throw, looks right. He throws this way, and the pass is caught, and staying in bounds is the receiver, and that's the big tight end, Stevie Sarcone, with the 1st down, as he had one-on-one coverage with the defender, and that was William Phillips. Phillips at 5'11", and Stevie Sarcone at 6'5", and a nice pass that time by Walding, 1st down.
I tell you, Kurt Walding threw a big-time pass that time, Mark. He floated that over Sarcone's head, and it landed in perfect. Just a beautiful pass by Kurt.
15-yard gain for the Maroons. Now they'll work out of the pistol formation. The give is to Deskin. He puts his head down and picks up chunks of yardage across the 45 up near the 46-yard line. So the Maroons in business here as we see Cole Billings in the backfield for the Maroons wearing number 7.
That run right there is where Cole Deskin can hurt a team. When he gets ahead of steam going straight ahead, he's dangerous.
8:30 left to play, 2nd quarter, tied at 14, Dowling and Valley here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. And now here's Walding, pass near side, and it's caught by Cole Billings, who we talked about earlier, crosses midfield, and it looks like he's near a 1st down. He has to get inside the Valley 48 to get it, and it looks like he did.
Nice quick pass to the right side, and Cole was able to pick up the 1st down. Again, Kurt's doing a great job of getting the ball to the correct receiver.
A gain of 6 on the play. Cole Billings, who we talked about earlier, 5'11", junior wide receiver, might be his first pass reception of the year. The Maroons with the 1st down at the Valley 47, and the give is right up the middle, and that is Deskin again, and he drags tacklers inside the 45 down near the 43-yard line. So the Maroons work a little power here, Dave. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's that zone read where he's reading the backside end on that, and he read give that time, and Cole was able to pick up a couple yards.
All right, the line of scrimmage is the 44-yard line, and now here's Walding back to throw, throws to his right. Pass is caught, and that's Tommy Wanek again. He caught the touchdown pass, and he's finally driven out of bounds right about the 30-yard line, a gain of 14, and another Dowling 1st down. So they go with the power, then they go with that quick pass.
And he had nothing but green in front of him there, Mark. If he could have kept his balance and stayed in bounds, he would have been gone. But again, nice pass by Kurt Walding. He's really doing a nice job finding the open receiver and getting the ball to him.
First down, Maroons. Walding out of the shotgun. Rolls to his right, and he hits Billings again. Billings trying to get outside of numbers. Finally wrestled from behind by the Valley defender. Nice tackle that time by Noah Barr, and about a 5-yard gain on first down to the Tiger 25.
Well, Dowling Catholic is kind of mirroring the Valley Tiger offense right now, where they're throwing these short, quick passes, and every once in a while they're going to try and beat you deep.
So Cole Billings with that last reception. 2nd and 5 now for the Maroons. Now here's Walding on the read option. The give is to Billings. He's going to be slammed down in the backfield. Nice job that time by the Valley defender. Knifing in there was Nick Yentzer. We talked about him in the pregame. One of those Valley linebackers, and he came in there and shot the gap.
Yeah, that was the right read by Kurt Walding. It was a give, but the linebacker for Valley shot through the inside and was able to make the tackle unblocked.
7-yard loss on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down for Dowling. 3rd and 13. The line of scrimmage is the Valley 32. Along with Dave Marcouli, Mark Amadale, Keith Bornas. Tom Moreland joined us here in the booth. Back to throw is Walding. Has time. Tries to lob it outside. The pass intended for Deskin coming out of the backfield, and it goes incomplete. As on defense is Ben Campos, another linebacker for Valley, who had him well covered. It'll bring up 4th down for Dowling, and they're going to bring in Alec Heeman to punt it away.
Yeah, again, these Valley linebackers are very quick and very good, Mark. They're very well coached every year, and they really execute their assignments well.
Well, how about this? Heeman's going to attempt the 49-yard field goal. He's not going to punt it away. He's going to kick it away. And Walding will hold. The line of scrimmage is the 32. They'll spot it down at the 39, a 49-yard field goal from the left hash going into the south end zone. Ball is down. Kick is high enough. Is it long enough by Heeman? It is. No, good. It got inside the right upright. How about that? His first field goal of the year, Dave, and it's a 49-yarder. So Heeman now 1 of 3, and he just got it inside that right upright.
Yeah, that was a great kick, and he really did. The official was slow to signal whether it was good or not, but a great kick by Dowling.
All right, the Maroons take the lead, 17-14 over Valley with 6:37 to play second quarter. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Miss your hometown clothing store, the one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium alongside Dave Marcouli and Mark Amadale. Tom Moreland joined us here as Maroons have taken a 17-14 lead on the foot of Alex Heeman, Dave, a 49-yard field goal, giving Dowling its first lead of the night, 17-14 with 6:37 to play.
Not bad for your first field goal, huh?
Of the
49
year.
49 yards.
No kidding. And Paul Yeager, you're on the Valley sideline. We're still trying to correct Brian's mic, but that was a pretty big shot that time by the Dowling kicker.
It was. I'll tell you what, Mark, that was something that was probably good for another 8-9 yards. That was a pretty darn good kick.
All right, here's a handoff. First down carry by Javon Mason. He picks up the first down, just an off-tackle power play, Dave. And he goes off the left side and picks up 12, maybe 13 yards and a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, I don't know if Coach Swenson is thinking that maybe they're throwing the ball a little bit too much, because they have been throwing a lot more than running the ball the last couple series. That play came out, and I think he's going to do it here. He's coming out in a double tight with the single back of Mason and look for Mason to run the ball.
Yeah, double tight end and Mason on the handoff, and he's singled out. He's hit and crashed down, knifed under that time by Stephen Johnson. The nose tackle played off the block, Dave, and made the stop for no gain. They'll spot it. But I'll tell you what, Stephen Johnson crashed right over center And he beat Alex McFarland, and I think it was Sam Rogers on that right side of the Valley offensive line.
And he was slanting inside and got through the gap there and was able to get Mason before Mason could get through the line.
No gain in the play, so Stephen Johnson a big play for the Maroons. So brings up 2nd and 10. Tigers going right to left towards the north end zone. Back to throw Lombardi. He throws off the back foot, trying to hit his tight end. The pass is incomplete as he tried to hit Quentin Curry on a little sideline route, and Lombardi was kind of forced off the back foot that time, Dave.
Well, that was the same play they ran first time, only it was a little bootleg action, and Stephen Johnson again in the backfield putting pressure on Lombardi, forcing him to throw that ball a little bit high.
Tom Moreland, did you get the message this game was not at Valley Stadium tonight, right? You did get it.
I'm so glad that I called you.
You wouldn't have went there. Would have been empty. The stadium's, I'll tell you what.
But this is lit up tonight. Hey, for the weather, this is great. And Dowling's defense has definitely shown up.
Well, so far, but so is Valley's. We'll see what here with the 3rd and 10. Lombardi back to throw. Now slips to the backfield. He's going to be snowed under. Back on the sack for the Maroons is Elias Bell, and he had some help that time, Dave.
He did. Elias Bell in there, Stephen Johnson in there, Bronte Wells, and Ross Oddie was in the backfield on a stunt that time, Mark. A lot of pressure, a lot of Dowling defenders in the backfield of Valley.
10-yard loss for Lombardi. That's something you don't see too often. And Elias Bell beat his man. And as you mentioned, the Maroons had a stunt on, and Valley unable to pick it out. So the Tigers will be forced to punt.
Dowling had a lot of success bringing the linebackers last week against Valley or Waukee in the second half. And so far they've been showing a lot of pressure to Valley tonight.
Peyton Long in the punt, and now we got a penalty flag down, and we've got doing procedure against the Tigers, so that'll add insult to injury there. That'll march him back. The Tigers back to the 18-yard line. They'll punt it from there. So Peyton Long a little further to go. Back deep for Dowling, right about midfield is Jack Kerner waiting the punt. We're tied for most of the game. 17-14 Dowling with a 3-point lead. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcoulier, and Coach Keith Borness here with me in the booth. And now a high kick, fair catch signal for by Kerner. Back at the 42-yard line is where the Maroons will have it, 1st and 10, and a nice punt that time by Valley's Peyton Long, who averages 37.5 yards a kick. And the Dowling offense on the field. So with 4:51 remaining here in the first half, Dowling with a 3-point lead. Let's go down to the sideline. That's where Paul Yeager is at. Paul, take it away.
Tell you what, a little frustration on the Valley side of this football game right now. And things aren't working quite right up the middle. That's where they've had success earlier in the season. And give Dowling a lot of credit. They're trying to put it in the middle of the field. They're not letting Valley get to the outside where they can expose some speed.
All right, Paul, thanks for that update. Paul Yeager on the Dowling sideline. The Maroons with the first down at their own 42. Kurt Walding back to throw, and he threw it away. High over the intended receiver that time was Cole Shazinski. And the Maroons open up in a pistol formation. They've got Jacob Zachary in the backfield in this with this set here, Dave.
I believe they were anticipating a stunt that time, so they wanted one more blocking back. But Shazinski couldn't get open. Kurt made a good decision and just threw it up over his head.
All right, Maroons with 2 receivers on each side of the formation. And Walding at quarterback. He's got Jacob Zachary to his right. And the pass is on the left side. It's caught, and that's Tommy Wanek getting outside the numbers with the catch right in front of the Valley bench, and he gets it up near midfield. They'll spot him down at the 48 for a gain of 6.
You know, I think I saw a fumble on that, and Nank recovered it. Yes, there was a fumble.
Well, the Maroons got a break there. If Nank fell on top of it, he's one of the Dowling linemen, Peter Nank, the left guard. All right. It is 3rd and 5 for the Maroons. They'll send 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Walding out of the shotgun for the Maroons. Play action fake, throws it downfield, and it's caught. First down by Shazinski, and he's finally run out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. You know, that mesh didn't go very well in the backfield with Walding. He almost fumbled the football. I know it's a wet ball with all the rain, Dave, but he found a way to regroup and found a nice receiver on the left side, and that was Shazinski with the first down for Dowling.
Yeah, and while all that was going on, Shazinski was coming on an in route and then did an out route and reversed it outside and was wide open. Nice pass by Kurt.
Yeah, 16-yard gain and a first down Maroons at the Valley 38. Dowling leading 17-14 out of the pistol formation. Here's Walding, and the give is to Cole Deskin. Right up the gut he goes, and he's blasted right about the 42-yard line, or checked at the 32-yard line for a gain of 6. So just when you think the Maroons are going to open up the pass, they go to their power, Dave, and Cole Deskin is a load to bring down.
He is, and he hit a brick wall there.
Oh,
he just bounced back
stopped
on that. But see, that's what Cole needs to learn to do. If he would learn to take one step either side and dodge that, but he loves those brick walls, and he's going to try and break them down every time.
7-yard gain for Deskin. It comes up to be 2nd and 3 for Dowling at the Valley 31. Walding at quarterback, wearing number 13. Back to throw, looking downfield, and he's looking for Wanek in the end zone. He overthrew him incomplete. Wanek got tied up that time with Noah Barr, and by the time Wanek broke free, the ball was overthrown. But Walding had him in his sights.
Yeah, a nice pass, just a little bit too long. I've been watching these receivers, Mark, and Dowling Catholic receivers really are running nice routes tonight, and they're really finding the open areas on the field.
All right, Cole Billings back in the ball game. He split out to the left of the Dowling formation with Cole Shazinski. Out of the shotgun, Walding, and now we've got a stoppage. And Chuck Britton, our official. What do we got going on? Might just be a substitution situation, and now they're all set as Jonathan Bliss put out wide to the right with Stevie Sarcone slot right. Walding out of the shotgun. Lateral pass left side, and it's caught. That's Billings. He's with it, and I think he's got the first down. Dowling fan, Zachary thinks he's got it, and we'll take his word for it. He did. Nice job that time as a little pass out of the backfield to Cole Billings, who's made several catches in this drive.
And that play has really worked well. Dowling has run that play a number of times this game. And Cole Billings was able, well, they're going to measure, Mark. I guess it's that close.
That's close to a first down as we have timeout for measurement. 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. 17-14 Dowling with the lead over Valley. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcoulé, Coach Keith Bornis in the booth. And we're with Tom Moreland. And I want to thank Tom for being with us. And
so glad to be here. Such a big game. Big game for us, Mark, is October 2nd.
What's going on there? That's why you're up here. I knew this.
You got it. Dry run here because I'm hoping Iowa Catholic Radio is going to come out and broadcast. We got Bishop Pates doing Mass for us at 3:30 on October 2nd. It's a Friday.
And where this will be held at?
This will be at Our Lady of Hope. It's on 63rd Street, right before the bridge, everybody, off 235 there. And it is one of the first exclusive Catholic senior livings to open up in the last 30 years. So we're excited about it. And the open house is going to be 12 to 9 p.m. Come on out. We'll have drinks, food, a band, but most of all, the Blessed Sacrament. Be there at 3:30 with Bishop Pates as he blesses the new home. We'll be home to 6 to 8 residents that will live there. And we're really excited about it. As you said, we've done other things. We've had Spirit Home Health Care. We've had Marion Home Care. And we have those. Spirit is where we do physical therapy, occupational therapy, skilled nursing in the home. Still do that. Got wonderful staff there. Marion Home Care, same deal, but private duty pay for those people that need just a little extra care to stay in their home. Stay safe, like some of these guys out there. We're trying to keep safe tonight. And then Marion Homes is we are actually now dedicating a home to where we can have people live there and then have Marion Home Care come on and serve their health care needs.
515-221-9155. And Tom, thanks for all you do. We appreciate you stopping up and being in the booth with us. You're giving Dowling fans some life here.
This is exciting.
Wanek got loose on that touchdown, and now the Maroons going for it on 4th and 1 from the 29. And penalty flag down, and did they get drawn offside to the Valley defense? Or did the Dowling offensive line move? What's going on here, Dave?
I think Dowling, I question whether they were ever going to snap the ball there, Mark. They came out in that pistol formation, and when you have an inch or two to go, you don't snap the ball back 4 yards. So I think that was the plan all along.
All right, it's offside Valley, and a first down for the Maroons at the 23-yard line is where they'll spot it. So
you know what the best part of that, Mark, is that it worked.
I don't know if Coach Bornis or Coach Marcoulé ever called that in their play calling, but back to throw is Walding on first down. The ball is caught by Wanek right at the 15-yard line, so a pickup of 8, and it'll bring up second down for the Maroons. A nice little pattern that time by Tommy Wanek, who caught a touchdown earlier.
And Wanek getting up slowly after the catch there, Mark.
He's still down as he was wrapped up. I don't know if but he is injured, so we've got a stoppage of play here with 2:49 remaining in the first half. Dowling leading 17-14 in this rivalry series game, presented by the U.S. Marines, along with the Central Iowa Sports Network and Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcoulé, Keith Bornis. And we want to mention some of our supporters here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. They include Bozen the Florist, offering quality and a variety of flowers coast to coast. You can call them at 244-ROSE or online, bozen.com. And, of course, Dowling webcasting provided by the Greater Des Moines Catholic Football League. Greater Des Moines Catholic Football League practices heads-up safety league-wide. Log on to dmcatholicfootball.com. And injury to Wanik, and that'd be a big one there, Dave Marcoulé. He's being assisted off the field. And you never like to see something like that after that first down catch.
No, and it appears to be either right leg or ankle, but it appears to be his right leg that he's favoring.
And be assisted by the Dowling training staff. And so the Maroons now with a second and they're going to call it 2 at the Valley 15-yard line. And now here is quarterback draw by Walding, and Kurt puts his head down and gets down near the 12-yard line for a pickup of 3.
Kurt trying to find an opening in the middle, and he was able to pick up the first down, Mark.
He just put his head down, and he did. So it's first down for Dowling at the 13-yard line of Valley. And Maroons now taking their time, 2:37 remaining, and timeout situation. Both teams have a timeout each, or 2 timeouts each, rather. Here's Walding out of the shotgun, and the handoff goes to Jacob Zachary. He pops outside, inside the 10, and he's driven down right about the 5-yard line, and he'll be near a first down. He's got to get to about the 3 to get that, but Dave, I think it'll be about a yard shy. So Jacob Zachary, who had that big run earlier for a touchdown for Dowling Catholic of 76 yards. Puts the ball inside the 5. They'll call it the 4.
Valley linebacker almost had him at the line of scrimmage, but Zachary was able to turn it upfield and pick up a nice gain.
Give him 8 yards. 2nd and 2, Dowling. The ball on the 4-yard line out of the pistol formation. Here's Walding back to throw, and the pass is caught by Deskin, but he's wrapped up nicely by the Valley defender. And that's Tristan Cobb on the stop, and they're going to mark him back right around the 8-yard line or so that'd be a loss of 5.
And that was a beautiful catch by Cole Deskin. Mark, last year he would not have caught that ball, and that's the biggest area of improvement that he has shown this year is catching the ball out of the backfield.
All right, the Maroons now will have both teams are substituting, and now we're going to get a timeout Valley, so the Tigers took care of that. We'll return with 1:20 left to play in the first half. Dowling 17, Valley 14, back in 1 minute. You're listening to the rivalry series between Dowling and Valley on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The 7-yard line. Back to throw is Walding. Throws in the end zone. His pass is caught. Touchdown Maroons, and that's Cole Shazinski on the reception. They threw a little corner route to the right side, and Cole, using his 6'5" reach, he's done that in basketball, and he's done that here. Touchdown Maroons, and Dowling with a 9-point lead, Dave and Keith. And well-executed pass by Kurt Walding, Dave. He's really grown up in front of us.
A real nice fake inside to hold the linebackers, and a nice pass to Shazinski. And was Szczynski's height, he was able to come down with the ball that time.
So Cole Szczynski with his 2nd touchdown reception of the year, and now Walding will stay in to hold. The extra point by Heeman is up, and it is good. And gentlemen, hard to believe it's 24-14, number 2 Dowling over number 1 Valley. And Coach Bornas, who's back with us now, we got a lot of game left. We know that.
There is a lot of game left, and one of the things that Valley has done traditionally and Dowling has done traditionally. They play their first half and then wear them down in the second. So it'll be interesting to see who's got the most left in the gas tank.
We'll be back after this 1-minute break here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
And we are back here at Drake Stadium on the kickoff by the Maroons, and there'll be no return by the Valley Tigers. Tigers will have it first and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Dowling leading 24-14. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcoullier, and Keith Bornes here in the booth. And Coach Bornes, we're kind of in shock. Dowling leading by 10, Valley the favorite. And the Maroons, this is probably the best Dave and I have seen this team play all year against a very fine defensive Valley.
Yeah, you know, and one of the things that's probably going to have to happen here, not necessarily before halftime, but at halftime, is the defensive coverage that Valley is running. They're going to have to do some checking as to whether it's the correct one or if they just got to execute.
All right, a first down play. Rocky Lombardi completes the pass right side to Braden Heald, and Braden, a little short gain on that play to get outside the numbers and try to get some single coverage, so it'll bring up second down. That last Dowling drive, Kurt Walding on an 8-yard touchdown pass to Cole Shazinski went 12 plays and 58 yards. And the Maroons up 10, and now Valley with 2 timeouts here, Dave. Going to try to move the football and utilize their timeouts.
Yeah, 12 plays. That's great for Dowling offense. That's the best way to beat a Valley team, is to keep their offense off the field.
All right, 2nd and 7 for the 23, and Lombardi's going to keep the ball. He's going to try to run around right in. Can't find anything open. May have gotten a yard up to the 24-yard line, and that's it. But he stops the clock, preserves that timeout situation. Valley has 1 left. Dowling has 2. So Tigers are just trying to be very efficient and see if Dowling's defense here, Dave, if they get into a prevent defense now here in the final minute of the first half.
You would think they'd loosen up a little bit, but usually they don't, Mark. That's where I get worried when I see them play tight like this. But they're still within 5-7 yards of the football.
All right, Lombardi out of the shotgun. Back to throw he goes. He fires it out near side. Pass is incomplete. The intended receiver was Carlo Marble, and he hadn't even turned around, and Lombardi, I think, had to unload the ball a little quicker than he wanted to, Coach Keith Bornes.
Yeah, Dowling was all over that from the defensive line and linebacker positions. You know, that was an interesting series. Now Dowling's going to get the ball back with a full minute and 2 timeouts. It'll be a very interesting could be a very interesting change of events here.
Yeah, Peyton Long's got to get a good punt off here for the Tigers. He'll stand back inside his 10, and
I'm surprised we didn't see Mason carry the ball that series to try and work on the clock a little bit.
Here's the punt by Long. It's going to bounce at midfield, and Dowling will get away from it. Takes a Valley bounce and bounces 10 more yards down to the 40. Still rolling, and it'll be down right at the 39-yard line. That's where the Dowling offense will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line with 47 seconds remaining in the first half here on the Iowa Sports Network. And, of course, the Central Iowa Sports Network, rather, the Iowa Catholic Radio. Let's go down to our Shield sideline report, and that's where Brian Morris is at. And, Brian, take it away.
Yeah, guys, that was a huge defensive stand by the Maroons. What they're doing in the last quarter is bringing a lot more pressure, I think, on Rocky, making him throw off his back foot, which he has not been very accurate here in this last quarter. And, again, we saw that last week against Waukee. Dowling came out pretty vanilla. Then they came out and started blitzing Firk and had some good success, and tonight they're having the same.
Yeah, they certainly are. Thanks, Brian, for that report. As Chuck Britton now, the referee, is throwing a penalty flag, and we got an illegal participation penalty against the Maroons. So somebody wasn't in the huddle that needed to be, and I'll back them up 5 yards. So the Maroons will have a 1st and 15. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we're going to visit with Hall of Fame inductee Dr. Joe Hornbeck. He was just known as Joe when he was at Dowling Catholic, Dave, I think. And he's now down in Kansas City as a principal. And also we'll have Dr. Cynthia Knight, who's an internist at Dowling, so we'll visit with them in the other room at halftime, so stay tuned for halftime. As the Maroons on first down, quarterback is J.T. Brown. They give up the middle to Cole Deskin. He finds some room. He's got the first down across midfield and finally wrestled down at the Tiger 45. And where did that come from? That was off the left side of the line there, Dave.
Yes, it was. And I tell you what, if that Valley Tiger, William Phillips, did not make that tackle, you were not going to catch Cole Deskin because he is blessed with an awful amount of speed.
15-yard run for Deskin, first down Dowling at the Valley, 46-yard line, 40 seconds remaining, and Dowling with 2 timeouts remaining. And now here's J.T. Brown back to throw, sets up in the pocket, wants it all, fires downfield, and again he's got a man open, and it's caught inside the 5. That's Wanek, and he's finally down at the 1-yard line. They say he stepped out of bounds. How about that? Tommy Wanek coming off the bench, who was injured and shaken up earlier in that earlier drive, Dave, picks up big yardage down to the 1-yard line, a 45-yard completion.
Well, same play those guys put together in the first quarter for a big touchdown. Tommy all the way down the 1-yard line mark. There's 27 seconds left. Dowling takes a timeout.
And we'll keep it here with 27 seconds remaining, and Dowling leading 24-14. And we want to thank the Catholic Tuition Organization. They provide tuition assistance to families that attend our Catholic schools. Go online at ctoiowa.com. And our thanks also to Waters Autoland, new and used cars and trucks. Todd and Thad Waters offer Buicks and GMC cars and trucks and many other makes and models. Catch the wave at Waters Autoland, watersautoland.net. Mark Amadale, Keith Bornes, and Dave Marcoullier here in the booth. And I'll tell you what, Coach Bornes, the Maroons are finding a way to get Wanek open. He's coming out of the backfield, and they've run that play 2 or 3 times, and the Tiger defense is not adjusted, and that's unusual.
Well, you know, and we talked a little bit about that in the pregame, where you have these younger defensive backs, Noah Barr, Jr., and William Phillips, Jr. They've had some experience, but now with their more athleticism, they're stronger, they're faster, they have to take a little bit more risk trying to get that outside thing stopped a little bit, and they're coming up and pressing the coverage, and Dowling is making them pay for it with that long ball.
All right, the Maroons will bring in Colby Gaines at fullback as J.T. Brown remains the quarterback. They give his to Deskin. He tries to follow Gaines towards the end zone. They're going to spot the play down right about the 1-yard line for no gain, so bring up 2nd and goal. Dowling at the 1. Good defense by the Maroons, and a timeout called by Dowling with 15 seconds remaining. We'll keep it here, Dave.
Well, Valley put their big tackles in the gaps, and they just filled them. And once you do that, there's just no place to go. And Dowling, Cole Deskin tried to get everything he could, but was unable to pick up much at all, Mark. 15 seconds left in the game.
And the Maroons have burnt their final timeout. So
excuse me, in the half.
In the half. Okay. I want to thank to a big shout out to Mercy Hospitals and their more than 50 primary care and clinics in Des Moines area for supporting our broadcast here on Dowling Catholic and the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. We want to thank them. MercyDesMoines.org, and Dowling Webcasting is brought to you by Dr. Theron Jameson at Jameson Orthopedic Clinic. They offer independent medical examinations for patients in need of caring family and orthopedic joint and pain care services. They're located at 2213 Grand. Our thanks to Jameson Orthopedic Clinic. And gentlemen, big play coming up here, and Brian Morse, come on in here with the report.
You know, guys, how Tommy Wanek is getting open, he's doing just a little hitch and go. They have one-on-one coverage, and they're not giving him safety help, and Dowling has exploited that weakness in the Valley defense, and the corner is biting on that.
All right, we're Maroons now with a 2nd and goal from the 1 with 15 seconds remaining. Dowling out of timeouts, and Kurt Walding in at quarterback here, Dave Marcoullier. And now here is a pitch to Wanek, or rather J.T. Brown, who's in there. Touchdown! They put both quarterbacks in, get J.T. Brown to run it in. What a play that was by the Maroons. We saw Walding in there, and J.T. got the pitch, and he ran around right in. Looked like he was going to throw, and he goes in for the score from a yard out.
Kurt Walding actually was walking out like he was going to audibilize on that, and the ball, I believe, was snapped to Cole Deskin, and then a handoff.
Then the handoff to J.T. Brown, and the Maroons ran an unusual formation, and it worked. Touchdown Dowling, and now the extra point now for the Maroons, and the ball is down, and the kick is up, and it is good. So the Maroons now add the extra point, and ladies and gentlemen, we're at halftime. Dowling 31, Valley 14, with Heeman's extra point being good for Dowling. And a surprise here at Valley Stadium in this rivalry game. We'll take a break and come back as we have 9 seconds remaining in the half. Dowling 31, Valley 14 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network, along with the Armed Forces Radio Network.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcouli, and Coach Keith Bornes, Brian Morris, and Paul Yeager on the sideline. And gentlemen, let's recreate that as Dowling kicks off into the end zone. Touchback. Valley will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. But Dave, Dowling kind of ran a wildcat formation. They had both quarterbacks in. J.T. Brown led the Maroons on this drive, but they brought Wanek in also.
Yeah, now I know our TV viewers saw that, but the radio listeners, what they did was Kurt Walding was in at quarterback, and he walked to his right like he was audibleizing and checking off and calling a different play. While he was doing that, the ball was snapped to the running back, who was Cole Deskin. Deskin moved to his left, handed the ball to J.T. Brown, who was coming on a reverse, handed him the ball, and J.T. Brown found the hole and made it into the end zone.
And the other interesting part about it is the original quarterback is in the end zone.
Walding.
Yeah, Walding's in the end zone. The defensive back for Valley has to make a decision. Do I cover or do I come up and try and stop the ball?
All right, we're at halftime. Dowling leading Valley 31-14. Let's go down to Brian Morris with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic.
Coach, offensive explosion, 31 points this first half. This team has really come on strong. And that last play, great innovation by the coaching staff.
Well, we tried. He was actually going to throw it to Kurt, and then they started coming to Kurt late, and then JT did the right thing by running and did a nice job right at the goal line.
Tied ball game, Coach. You sent in the kicker for a 49-yard field goal. That seemed to get this offense and defense kind of pumped up in the Dowling fans.
Well, I think it did, and you know, right now we've got a lot of good things going, and you know, my concern right now is the maturity of our team, like it's been all along. We think we've won the state championship right now, and we got to go make sure that they understand that we haven't.
Well, you know, Dowling Valley, it's going to be a close game here at the end. What are you going to say to the team at the halftime?
We got to fight. We got to fight. It's a 4-quarter ball game. We haven't worked this hard to play a half of football, and you know that Valley's going to come back, so we have to have answers.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, that's Brian Morris with the head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic on the sideline as we move to halftime. The Maroons lead it 31-14. Before we go to break, Dave and Coach Bornes, your thoughts. We'll start with Coach Bornes. Your team down 31-14. Who would have thought Valley giving up 31 points in the half?
Well, yeah, you know, defensively, I would have guessed that was going to be one of our strong suits tonight. But when you talk about keys to the game early on, Valley just did not establish the offensive side of the ball very well. And they came out passing right away. Everybody was expecting Mason to get the ball. And with that, we ended up disrupting some of the flow in the game, allowing, when you have multiple passes with incompletions, the clock's not running. And so when the ball goes over on downs or is punted away, it's a situation where now Dowling's offense is on the field for a long time. And anytime an offense is on the field longer than defense, it gives your offense that advantage.
And Dave, the Maroons, as Coach Wilson said, they've got to keep this momentum going, and you know Valley's going to make a push.
Yeah, this is a big surprise. This is a different Dowling team that we're seeing tonight. They're really doing a nice job. Offensively, they're really executing a beautiful game plan developed by the coaches, and they're executing that plan. And the front seven of Dowling Catholic continue to step it up this week.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We're at halftime. We've got some halftime interviews, including Athletic Hall of Famer Joe Hornback and Dr. Cynthia Knight, one of the interventionists at Dowling Catholic. We'll talk more at halftime. We'll return on our halftime show again from Drake Stadium. Our halftime score in this rivalry series, Dowling 31 and Valley 14. Tonight's game is also presented by the United States Armed Forces here on Central Iowa Sports Network and Iowa Catholic Radio. Back with more after these messages here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Save big at Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee. New Chevy Malibu 1LT. Power price, $89 per month. Yes, $89 per month in Waukee. During truck month, get 25% off select new Silverado crew cabs. Select Silverados also come with 0% for 60 months. Plus, you keep the $4,000 rebate. New Silverado double cab 4x4 LT. Power price, $189 per month. Help us raise 10,000 pounds of food for the Waukee Food Pantry in September. Schottenkirk Chevy on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
At Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
And welcome back to halftime here at Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale along with Dave Marcoullier and Brian Morris. Also Keith Bornes and Paul Yeager joining us. Halftime score, Dowling leading Valley 31-14. And I'm joined here in the press box at Drake Stadium by the recent Hall of Fame inductee at Dowling Catholic, and that's Joe Hornback. And Joe, congratulations and welcome to halftime.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Joe, you've been hanging out in Kansas City the last few years, but we remember you at Dowling. You're a tremendous all-state lineman. You went to Kansas, and then all of a sudden you started coaching football, of all things, at Des Moines Roosevelt. So you've been around and then moved away. You're now a principal, is that correct, in Kansas City?
Yep. So I coached for about 11 years and then have been a high school principal for the last 9, and at Bonner Springs High School in Kansas City for 9 years and having a great time.
So when you got the call about being in the Dowling Athletic Hall of Fame, how did it strike you? I know what it did for me about 5 years ago, but what did it do for you?
Well, you know, Dr. Deegan, I worked for him when he was in Kansas City. My first job was at St. Thomas Aquinas High School, and he was the principal. So I'd known Dr. Deegan pretty well and also wrestled with 2 of his sons. And when he called me, I knew his voice, so I knew it wasn't one of my brothers playing a joke on me or something like that. So, you know, it's been so much fun, and come back today and went to a Dowling pep rally and got a tour of the school, and it's so different than it was 25 years ago when I was there, but it's been a lot of fun.
Well earned, because remember your days at Dowling, and I'm sure as you went to the school today, you saw all the changes as we did when we had our class reunion this summer, Joe. But when you walk in the building, it's a little bit different building.
Well, and that's what I told Ryan Osborne, the development director, that, you know, the 2 main hallways are the same, but that's about it. You know, and all the classrooms have moved, and the gym is the same, but you know, at $27 million and all the work that they put into it, and that they've done a great job. It's a beautiful, beautiful school.
Joe Hornback's our guest, recent Dowling Catholic Hall of Fame inductee. He and several others went in today. They were introduced before the game. And, you know, Joe, you look at the memories back in high school, how that transferred with you to college and then in the professional life. And you started out as a teacher, coach, now administrator. But you look back some of those memories you had in high school. And I saw some of those memories that you maybe want to forget were hanging around with you tonight.
Yeah, it's been fun to run into some guys that, I played with. And when I found out that I was going into the Hall of Fame tonight and was going to have a chance to come back and visit, I kind of looked up to see who we were playing, and the fact that we were playing Valley at Drake Stadium was been a lot of fun. This was always a game that I enjoyed playing in, and it's great to come back and see it again.
Let's talk about your family. I know you've got twins, and you and your wife have started a great family down in Kansas City now, and I know you're up here for the weekend, but talk about your family.
Yeah. So my wife and I, we've been married 18 years, and I have twin daughters that are 9. I have a son that's 8 and another son that's 7. So we're a tight-knit group. We had all of our 4 kids within about 2.5 years, so it's been a lot of fun, and they are all in school now and doing great, and really enjoying being a dad.
Now, Joe, when you were at Drake, or you were here at Drake when Roosevelt, you were head football coach at Roosevelt for a number of years, and you started playing here at Drake. So you're very familiar with game night on Friday nights here at Drake Stadium. What an environment it is for any high school athlete.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And the last year I was at Roosevelt was the first year that we played here, so I did have a chance my last year to coach in some games here, and it's just it's a beautiful stadium, a great setting, and I think back when I played at the old Valley Stadium years and years ago, and compare it to this, it's wonderful.
Joe, congratulations on being inducted in the Dowling Catholic Hall of Fame. Thanks for coming back to Central Iowa, and hey, don't be a stranger. You got those guys that you're hanging around with, they might put you up for the night, but it is quite an honor, and I know it was for you and the rest of the inductees. Thanks for joining us here at halftime.
Thank you.
All right, that's Dr. Joe Hornback, inducted into the Dowling Catholic Hall of Fame. We'll take a break. We come back, we'll have another interview here at halftime. Dowling leading Valley 31-14 here at Drake Stadium. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, the Central Iowa Sports Network, and the Armed Forces Radio Network.
Action! Fireplace Superstore is growing. We're building a great new location next to our current store at 109th and Douglas.
Cut!
What?
Action!
We don't want to move it, so we're putting everything on.
Cut! Action!
Our warehouses are too full, and this building's going to go up fast, so we need you to. Seriously, please help us move. Everything's on sale. Fireplaces, patio furniture, grills, fire pits, they're all on sale at Fireplace Superstore, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue in Urbandale.
Miss your hometown clothing store, the one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Tonight, talk about what you do at Dowling Catholic. Interventionist, that's a word we haven't heard, at least I haven't heard at Dowling in many years, and talk about your role at Dowling.
I am the interventionist, and that means that I help kids who are struggling a little bit and who are our big diverse group of students that academically they need some supports. I also help the teachers. We work at I team teach a reading class, and I team teach a math class, which helps support those students who are needing a little more support.
Well, and you've increased the support for students that need support. Obviously, with the classes you take, not only at Dowling, but any high school, kids always kind of find a way to need extra support, whether it be needing a tutor or whatnot, and your office kind of handles that. And talk about your team that's around you.
I have 2 associates, Mark Roaring and Kevin Stanley, and together we support the students through study skills, through academic support, and we help all those students who are just needing a little extra boost.
And this helps them in their career, because obviously this is part of their career, their high school career, but also through their professional career, college career, helps their pathways as they move on.
Right. So another exciting thing that we're doing at Dowling Catholic is we're really working hard at helping our students be college and career ready. And so we've started a career pathways for those students. And we're working with DMAC, and we're working with creating more courses for students to take down that career pathways.
Well, Dr. Knight, if somebody wants to get in touch with you at Dowling, what department are you in, or where can they find you?
I'm in the counseling center. I have my own little area, so room 14.
All right. And you took tickets tonight. Who was with you at the ticket taker, and which section were you here at Drake Stadium?
We were at the northwest side, getting quite a lot of rain, and Kathleen Dutremont was there, Miss Condon was there, and a guy named Steve.
Perfect. Well, what a night it's been. Dowling leading here at halftime 31-14. Will the rain hold off, and will the Maroons prevail, or will the Valley Tigers come back?
Maroons are going to win.
All right. There you go. At halftime here at Drake Stadium, Dowling leading Valley, yes, 31-14. We're going to take a break. We come back. We'll get Paul Yeager with an interview with head coach Gary Swenson after this timeout. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
The field, we get ready for the second half. Dowling leading 31-14. And the game tonight being broadcast on Iowa Catholic Radio Network, the Central Iowa Sports Network, and the Armed Forces Radio Network, as both teams, I said, on the field. And Paul Yeager is down on the field, and Paul's going to hopefully have an interview with head coach Gary Swenson as the Tigers arrive. And Paul, send it down to you. Is Coach Swenson getting closer?
He's getting there. Their Valley's coming out. You know, this is a team that started extremely fast, and then all of a sudden Dowling made some adjustments. It is all about adjustments coming into the second half. So I'll keep an eye out for Gary, and I'll have him hopefully momentarily.
All right.
Or I can fill, Mark. If you want me to fill, I can.
I know you do that so well. I went through the state softball championships with you and Laura Leonard in the cast, so I know you can fill. Let's go see if we get Brian Morris involved. Brian's mic working. Brian, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I sure can. How about that?
It's been a great down the Dowling sideline. They had King and Canada through, and the Maroons again went into that locker room, Mark, with really a lot of momentum. Coach Wilson said it right. He needs to get them to focus. He didn't win the state championship in the first half.
Yeah, that's a good point, Brian. As he's breaking up a little bit, and once Paul Yeager gets hooked up with Coach Swenson, we'll get to him in a moment here. And Paul, is Coach right around there?
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay, well, we'll give you a few more. Well, if you take a look at the first half scoring. And
all right, here we go, Mark.
All right, go ahead and take it, Paul.
All right, Coach, first started fast in that first half, and then things kind of, what happened? What did Dowling do to adjust to you?
Well, they just played a great half. You know, they're just more physical than we are tonight. At no time were we winning the line of scrimmage, and if you can't win the line of scrimmage, everything looks good for the opponent and bad for you, and that's what that second quarter looked like.
In this game, you always know that everybody's going to pull out stuff you haven't seen earlier this season. You know they've done some of the same things. Of course, you're not going to tell me every adjustment, but trying to spread the ball out a little bit more, it seems like they're trying to pack you in a little more.
Yeah, you know, we had some things there, too. We just missed on them, and we're going to have to do more of it. It'll not be easy because now we're forced to throw, but we can do that. I just want to see us with some fight in our eyes so we can get back in this thing, and that's what I want to see out of our team. I thought we had some bad things happen to us there in the second quarter, and we just kind of got our daubers down and let them have their way. But, you know, we're going to come out and battle them.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You bet, Paul.
All right, Paul Yeager with head coach Gary Swenson, our Shields sideline report, as we got a few minutes before kickoff here in the second half. Dave Marcoullier, Keith Bornis joining me here in the press box. Keith, you heard Coach Swenson talk, and, you know, he sounded like this team got deflated. I'm looking, when did the momentum change in this game? Well, Cook runs it in from 10 yards out. Valley goes up. They hold Dowling on downs, and all of a sudden, Valley has the ball at the Dowling 35. The Tigers turn over on downs, and then it was all Dowling from that point. About the 9.5-minute mark of the second quarter, things just changed.
You know, there's not really anything you can really pinpoint. It was kind of a steady transition. After Cook did run in that score in for their second touchdown, the one thing that was missing after that was just simple mechanics and finishing plays. You know, teams can start any team can start a play, but not every team can finish one. And that's one thing that Valley just didn't do, is finish their plays. Dowling, I felt they were still slow starting, even though it was 7-0, 7-7, 14-7, 14-14. They were slow starting, but when that passing game down the near sideline, the home sideline, opened up, it was almost as though Valley just really didn't know how to respond to it. And then when they tried to get back into it, throwing the ball around, now we have a very short drive time-wise because it's a 3-and-out with drop passes.
Right, and you know, I would go back to what Coach Swenson said on the line of scrimmage. Dowling Catholic has completely dominated the line of scrimmage, especially defensively, and they're putting so much pressure on Rocky Lombardi that they really don't have time to get into their offense and to run what they want to run. They forced them out of the running game, and Mason is hardly touching the ball anymore. He's their most dangerous weapon, in my opinion, for Valley Tigers.
Absolutely.
All right, here is the kickoff. We're underway here in the second half. It goes into the end zone, and Mason lets it fall. So Valley's offense will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Tigers trail 31-14 here as we begin the third quarter from Drake Stadium. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcoullier, Brian Morris, and, of course, Paul Yeager also on the sideline, where we also have Keith Bornis. It's a rivalry series presented by the U.S. Marines. So we're on coast to coast and all across this great land of ours and outside the borders with our great Armed Forces radio network. So Mr. Bornis, Mr. Marcoullier, if you know anybody in Afghanistan or throughout the world, you might want to say hello. Dave, you got a pen pal. Remember those pen pal days? You probably have one over there. First down, Tigers are at their own 20-yard line. Rocky Lombardi, and Coach Swenson said he's got a pass, and he did. First down pass is incomplete as the Tigers tried a little square-out pattern on the right side that's broken up by the Maroons and bring up 2nd and 10 for the Valley.
I think right now Rocky's kind of thinking it's amazing that he knows that only 11 guys can be on defense over there, but it looks like he is throwing into 15. Dowling is doing a great job covering the field and those receivers right now.
All right, brings up 2nd and 10 now for the Valley Tigers from their own 20-yard line. Tigers have 2 touchdowns in the first half. Lombardi ran for 56 yards and Cook for 10. And the give is to Mason, and he dives in the line, may have gotten a couple yards up to the 22-yard line.
He got those few yards with his quick feet and continued foot movement, but the Dowling front line is getting hands on him as soon as he gets to that point, and they are not giving up a whole lot.
All right, that's Reardon, Wilson, McFarland, Rogers, and Miles on the offensive line for Valley. Glenicki is the tight end, and Marble, Heald, and Hinkle the receivers. In the backfield, it's Rocky Lombardi with Austin Cook and Javon Mason. Here's a high snap out of the shotgun. Lombardi steps up in the pocket, fires downfield. The pass is in and out of the hands, incomplete. Wide open was the intended receiver that time, Braden Heald. Coach, he had it, and all of a sudden he dropped it. He would have had the first down, but he dropped the pass from Lombardi.
He did have that wide open. It was great. It was a great play that was set up. And, you know, Dowling's rushing so hard up the field. I'm not so sure that Rocky couldn't have tucked that and got the first down.
Well, it was a nice crossing pattern, and he found the open seam in that zone there, and he just wasn't able to hold on the ball.
All right, so the
there's
Tigers
a snap over the head, Mark.
But the punter did a nice job of retrieving it and did a great job. Peyton Long got it away. It takes a Valley bounce inside the 40 of Dowling, and it's going to roll all the way inside to the 28-yard line. There'll be no return. Jack Kerner let it go. And I'll tell you what, probably the best athletic move we see tonight, Peyton Long, the punter here, Coach Bornes, for Valley.
Yeah,
How about that?
Peyton Long has a really strong arm. He could have thrown the ball that far too, but it was a great job of keeping your head in the game, staying focused on what he needed to do. And I'm sure he was breathing a huge sigh of relief when he turned around and nobody was coming.
Oh, well, Dowling obviously had the punt return on, and they weren't going for the block at all because he was able to recover that and turn it into a decent play.
All right, 1st and 10 Maroons. Our line of scrimmage is their own 28-yard line. Dowling leading 31-14 here in the third quarter. The handoff, Cole Deskin, a first down carry, and he gets across up to about the 30, maybe the 31 for a short gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. Paul Yeager's over on the Valley sideline, and Paul, I know Coach Swenson's got to be addressing what he talked about at halftime with you, and that is getting his team fired up as they went 3 and out.
Paul's taking a nap.
Paul.
I'm a little slow. I'm down here talking. Hey, I got some news for you.
All right, we'll get back after that play. Here's JT Brown. The pass is caught far sideline. That's Stevie Sarcone with the first down. The catch at the 40, and he takes it about 6 more yards afterwards. First down Maroons to the tight end, Stevie Sarcone. And Paul Yeager will bring you back in.
All right, Mark. Austin Cook was not in on that series. He got hurt in warm-ups to start the second half. Cook is the running back for Valley and a key part of this offense. He is sitting on ice on that right leg. He is doubtful to return for the rest of the game.
That is bad news for the Valley Tigers. First down Dowling from the 46-yard line to give us to Cole Deskin. He can't find the hole, tries to bounce it outside. And maybe, I think he lost a couple yards, Dave, back to the 43-yard line. Deskin couldn't hit that hole over the right guard, right tackle, and he tried to bounce it outside. And a loss on the play. Nice job by the Valley defense.
Yeah, they got a lot of penetration that time, and they were bringing the Mike linebacker right up the middle. And they both converged on Deskin, and he was unable to pick up anything. Bring us up a passing situation.
Well, the Maroons have a 2nd and 13 now, back at the 43-yard line, and JT Brown at quarterback keeps the ball on a read option. If they take Deskin, and he went over to the left side and may have gotten a few up to the 48-yard line. So pick up a 5. It'll bring up 3rd down for Dowling. And that was all set up for the Maroons on that 16-yard catch by tight end Stevie Sarcone that gave the Maroons a first down. But now Valley defense is tightened up. It's 3rd and long. 3rd and 8 Maroons. Line of scrimmage the 48 of Dowling as we have 9:10 left to play here in the third quarter. Dowling 31, Valley 14. Back to throw JT Brown. Fires it downfield, and the pass is, they're going to say he caught it or he didn't, at about the 45-yard line, and they're going to say incomplete.
Yeah. It
never got a signal, and now we've
right. Everybody was a little bit nervous on the Valley sideline that they never made the call. Clearly, that ball bounced. You know, I don't know if Dave would agree with that, but it was one of those that was very tight to the receiver and the ground at the same time.
All right, Alex Heeman back to punt for Dowling. He stands at his own 35. And he'll punt it away with 9:04 remaining. Heeman gets away, partially blocked the line of scrimmage, but it'll land down inside the 30, and it's going to be just like Peyton Long's punch, takes a Dowling bounce. As the Valley punter had the same luck, and it's going to be down inside the 28-yard line. Ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage, but fortunately for the Maroons, it went forward, Dave, and Tigers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 28.
Yeah, Valley was very fortunate on their punt, and Dowling Catholic was very fortunate there also. They were very lucky to get the distance that they did.
Tonight's Valley Dowling football game is part of the Great American Rivalry Series, and it's brought to you by our folks at R&R Realty. They support our broadcast of Dowling Catholic football. R&R Realty Group, establishing long-term relationships built on trust. That's rrrealty.com. First down, Rocky Lombardi under center to give is to Mason. He tries to bounce outside. It does. He's loose. He's inside the 40 at midfield. He's got one man to beat down the far sideline. He's finally wrestled down inside the 30-yard line. So Mason, a nice run for Valley. A Valley lineman down at the 30-yard line, and no penalty flags down on the play, and that's the guard, Jack Wilson, who's injured. And Mason, what are they going to spot him down right inside the 30 of Dowling? Nice run that time by Javon Mason, Keith Bornes.
Yes, you know, and it's one of those things, it's a 17-point ball game right now, so nothing really has to change. Coach Swenson talked about having to throw the ball to get things done, But if Javon Mason can make good plays like this, Jack Wilson, who arguably is one of the top hurdlers in the state, playing guard, if they're going to be able to make plays like that and open up some holes, your offense doesn't have to go into any type of a freaking out mode just yet.
All right, Tigers with the first down at the Dowling 26, a Mason 46-yard run. Here's Lombardi back to throw, fires in the end zone, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Carlo Marble, and he had coverage that time by Dowling Catholic's Drew Madden, and it was a free-for-all. And I think Marble had it for a moment there, Dave Marcoulier.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come down with it. I thought he was able to get both hands on it, but I don't know if Madden deflected it or Marble just lost control of it.
That ball really was placed very well, and yeah, I agree. Marble did have both hands on that ball.
So the Tigers now will send one receiver to the right, and that's Braden Heald. And he's got a receiver to the left. And that's Hinkle. And this time, Lombardi under center. A little tailback counter. They hand off the give to Javon Mason. He's stacked up inside the 25. They're going to spot forward progress down to the 23 for a gain of 3. And I'll bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Tigers.
You know, when Coach Swenson talked about winning the line of scrimmage, that right there was a perfect example. Initially, there is a hole there, but the linemen have stopped moving their feet and pushing downfield. And running backs, as good as Mason is, running backs really cannot do it on their own in Class 4A.
All right, 3rd and 8 for the Valley Tigers. Line of scrimmage is the Dowling 23. And now they have penalty flags down, and this play will be blown dead. So we'll see what this is about with 7:50 remaining here in the third quarter. Dowling leading 31-14. Let's go quickly to the Dowling sideline, and that's where Brian Morris is located. Brian?
It's number 4. Moses Dewey made that tackle on Mason, but he came out, I think he's ankle, he rolled it a little, so he's down here on the sideline trying to loosen that thing up.
All right, another injury for both teams, and that's Moses Dewey, the the Dowling defensive back. Now a penalty against the Tigers. That'll set him back to the Dowling 31-yard line. So we'll bring up 3rd down and long. 3rd and about 14 for the Tigers. Lombardi looking to the sideline with head coach Gary Swenson getting his signals. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And in the backfield for the Tigers is Jacob Morris. Back to throws Lombardi. Flush from the pocket. Fires the ball downfield. The pass is underthrown and incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down and 15 for Valley at the 31. Tremendous pressure on Lombardi and good coverage downfield, Dave Marcoulier, by the Dowling secondary.
Yeah, Coach Swenson checked off that play. I think he he saw one-on-one coverage on Valley's side of the field. And he would try to take advantage of that with an under pattern underneath there. And unfortunately for Valley, it fell incomplete. Brings up 4th down mark, and I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, Paul Yeager, you're down the sideline. Tigers are going to go for it here. Well, we'll get to Paul in a moment as it is 4th and 15. Lombardi out of the shotgun with 2 receivers on each side. Back to throw he goes, won't throw it. Now reverses field, coming to the near side, trying to run for it. Inside the 30, inside the 20. He's inside the 15. Did he get inside the...
He did.
No.
16-yard line, and he's down to the 11th.
Oh,
First
boy,
down,
close.
Valley. He got down to the 11th and
Yes,
needed to
he
get to the
did.
16. Rocky Lombardi using his legs, and I'll tell you what, everybody was covered, Coach Bornas, downfield. Dowling secondary had that well defended, but Rocky did it on his own.
Well, on top of that, the snap wasn't all that great either, and it disrupted a little bit of timing. And as Rocky had to reverse his field and come around the corner, one of the things that people don't know always is that Rocky's got pretty good speed too. He's developed that. He's in his own right a pretty good high hurdler.
And a 20-yard run on 4th down. 4th and 15, he picks up 20. So it's 1st down Valley at the 11-yard line of Dowling. 7:10 remaining in the third quarter. Back to throw Lombardi. Fires it far side. And it's caught and going into the end zone. It's touchdown to Tigers. And a nice reception that time by Austin Hinkle. He did a little square in pattern. He got hit after he caught it, and he avoided that hit, showed his strength there, Coach, and scored from 11 yards out after Moses Dewey was the defender for the Maroons. And Valley now has put their first points up here in the second half.
You know, Dave and I were talking at halftime about how this is almost a mirror image of last year's game where Valley jumped out all over and Dowling made a push late in the game. Could be just opposites of that.
All right, here is the extra point. It is up, and it is good by Valley. So the Tigers have cut the game to a 10-point lead. It's 31-21 with the extra point by Hahn. Back after this timeout, you're listening to Dowling Catholic Football here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Save big at Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee. New Chevy Malibu 1LT. Power price. $89 per month. Yes, $89 per month in Waukee. During Truck Month, get 25% off select new Silverado crew cabs. Select Silverados also come with 0% for 60 months. Plus, you keep the $4,000 rebate. New Silverado Double Cab 4x4 LT. Power price. $189 per month. Help us raise 10,000 pounds of food for the Waukee Food Pantry in September. Schottenkirk Chevy on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
Seven plays, 72 yards on the Valley drive, capped off by a Hinkle touchdown reception. Austin Hinkle from Lombardi, and the kickoff now by Valley. And here's a return, and now it's Jack Kerner trying to get outside the numbers, and he can't. Well defended by the Valley special teams as they got in there and took him down, led by Eric Henning, number 4 in cast of thousands there, as the Tigers stall Dowling's kickoff return, and Maroons will have it 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line. Mark Amadale along with Dave Marcoullier and Keith Bornis here in the booth. Down the sidelines is Brian Morris and Paul Yeager. And Paul Yeager, you're on a very happy Valley sideline. They have scored for the first time here in the second half.
Huge eruption on that outplay, but they were even more excited on that 4th and 14. That is a play that could come back to bite Dowling. Watch that one.
Yeah, that's a good one, Paul. Good point. Back to throw is Kurt Walding in the lineup back at quarterback. He fires over the far sideline. Pass incomplete as he tried to hit his intended receiver over there, and that time it was Jonathan Bliss. Just letting a little bit too far there, Dave Marcoullier.
Yeah, Jonathan Bliss has a great pair of hands, and he possibly could have come up with that ball. That was close.
So 2nd down 10. The line of scrimmage is the Dowling 12-yard line. Good special teams on the kickoff by the Valley Tigers to pin the Maroons down with just under 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Back to throw is Kurt Walding. Fires it out over the right side. The pass is caught, and avoiding the tackle nicely is Aaron Craw, and he gets outside the numbers and bounces up to about the 20-yard line before he's tackled there, a gain of 8.
Jonathan Bliss missed the initial block on that, but was able to recover and pick up enough so the ball carrier could pick up a pretty good gain.
The ball carrier is Aaron Craw, who was a receiver on the near side. And now Cole Shazinski checks out of the lineup for Dowling, and 2 receivers now split to left. Walding at quarterback. Zachary in the backfield. The handoff goes to Jacob, trying to pop it outside. Bounces off one defender and is finally hit and driven out of bounds right about the 23-yard line. Good coverage as the Tigers now are starting to wake up their defense, and that was Ben Campus on the stop out of bounds but for Dowling, good enough for a first down.
Yeah, and you're kind of looking defensively here. Valley is making some great initial contact, but they're not wrapping up and making a tackle.
You know, Jacob Zachary has been pretty quiet since that big run he had in the first quarter, I believe it was.
76-yard run referring to for the Maroon touchdown. Back to throw Walding on play action. Fires the ball downfield. He's got a man open, and who is it again? Wanick. And it's incomplete. He overthrew it at about the 40-yard line in Valley territory. But, again, Tommy Wanick, is he doing a wheel route or something to get behind the defenders?
I watched him that. He did a stop and go. He was up at the top with Shazinski, and they were working a combo pattern. And Tommy did the deep stop and go pattern, and Valley's falling for that every time, and Tommy was wide open.
I'm pretty impressed with him. He has been on the sideline icing, back in the game, making a big play, on the sideline icing, back in play, making a big game.
All right, here is a read option. The give is to Zachary, and he slides up to about the 25-yard line for just a 2-yard gain, so it's going to bring up 3rd and long for Dowling. 3rd and 8 from their own 25-yard line. 6.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Dowling 31, Valley 21. As you're listening to tonight's game on the Armed Forces Radio Network and Iowa Catholic Radio, and of course televising tonight's game on the webcast at Central Iowa Sports Network. All right, here is Kurt Walding at quarterback, back to throw on 3rd and 8, and he fires the ball downfield, and it's caught, completed at the 40-yard line. The Maroons go back to the tight end, and that's Stevie Sarcone, the reception, up to the 40-yard line, a 15-yard gain and a Dowling first down, and Davey did that in the previous series. They went to him for a first down.
You know, I'm not sure which is which, but I'm not sure if Dowling's passing game is opening up the running game or the running game is opening up the passing game, but they sure do complement one another tonight. And that is something we have not seen the previous 2 weeks, Mark.
All right, the Maroons bring in Kobe Gaines at fullback. They'll work out of the pistol formation with Zachary at tailback. The give is to Zachary trying to get around left end. Valley pursuing, breaks a tackle, and slides up to the 41-yard line for a gain of 1. And that was one tough yard because white shirts were coming after him, Coach Bornas.
Yeah, Pete Economos had him in the backfield, and Zachary is just such a tough runner. He was able to get through that tackle and another tackle before he got tackled, potentially the third time.
Seemed like they were coming in waves,
Yeah.
and Jacob was trying to deflect it. It's 2nd and 9 Maroons from their own 41-yard line. And here is Kurt Walding at quarterback, steps up in the pocket, now wants to run, being hit. Now he falls forward across the 45-yard line for a pickup of 4, and he'll bring up 3rd down once again for Dowling, 3rd and 5.
Well, I think he wanted to go to Shazinski on that one, or Stevie Sarcone, but Sarcone was well covered, and Walding felt pressure, and he had to tuck it and run up the middle.
All right, the Maroons bring in an extra receiver as Cole Shazinski lines up near side. He's got Tommy Wanek slot right and one receiver to the left. Here's Wanek back to throw, or Walding back to throw, and he fires it out near side, and it is caught, and it's near a first down. Will it be a first down? Dowling thinks it is. And I think Cole Shazinski thinks it is. He made the catch, and it's at the Valley 49, first down Maroons. A little possession route that time, Dave.
Yeah, beautiful run by Shazinski. And I tell you what, Tommy Wanek was wide open on a flag route about 10 yards further downfield. So receivers are running excellent routes tonight, Mark.
6-yard gain for the Maroons, and it's first down Dowling at the Valley 49. Maroons will send out Tommy Wanek wide left, number 42. And wide out to the right is Jonathan Bliss. They'll keep it, will Kurt Walding, and he follows his blockers up to the Valley 45-yard line as he had Zachary in the backfield and just decided to keep it there, and a quarterback keeper, gain of 4.
You know that old adage, you get your 4 and the 40 will come. And it seems like Dowling has been doing that almost every other play.
Well, Kurt Walding picking up 4 yards. Dowling getting their offense, getting their signals in. They'll split out wide left. Cole Shazinski, he and Wanek are split out wide to the left. The shotgun is Kurt Walding at quarterback, number 13. The give is to Zachary. He turns the corner on the right side, bounces off a tackle, and then finally driven down right about the 43-yard line for a gain of 2. And those were 2 hard yards because the Valley linebackers all of a sudden have woke up here in the second half, Coach Bornas.
They have. They're moving around the field better. They got a head on a swivel. What they're still not doing is at initial contact, they're just not wrapping up. And Zachary is going to exploit that again.
All right, the Maroons with 2 receivers on each side of the formation. They take the tight end out, 3rd and 5, back to throw Walding, fires it out, and it's caught, and that's Stevie Sarcone, who is a tight end, but was lined up as a slot receiver, and he picks up another first down. Nice little corner route to the near side here, Dave Marcoulier.
And Kurt Walding is so relaxed with his release. He looks very comfortable back in the pocket, and he just throws a really nice pass right on the numbers.
A 10-yard reception to Sarcone. So Sarcone, a 15-yard catch and a 10-yard catch gives the Maroons a first down at the Valley 33. Here's Walding on the read option. The give is to Zachary. Puts his head down and finally lands at the 30-yard line as he went right into the Valley defender, Nick Yenser, that time. And that was a collision that you heard up here, Keith.
Yes, it was. You know, and you know, I've watched Nick Yenser grow. He's one of those guys that has just been very steady all the way through. I would normally have given that advantage to Yenser, and Zachary just ran through him.
That brings up 2nd and 6, Dowling from the Valley 29. Maroons lead it 31-21. And now on a read option, Kurt Walding will keep the football, and they're going to spot his forward progress back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Maroons from the Valley 29. I want to thank a couple of our supporters here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network as Don Brown Properties and A.J. Anderson and Caldwell Bankers. Thanks to Don and A.J. for supporting Central Iowa athletics of all kind. They've been great supporters here on Iowa Catholic Radio. And Dowling Webcasting. All right, Maroons with a 3rd and 6 from the Valley 29. Walding at quarterback. Play action. Fires the ball downfield. Caught once again, and this time it is by Cole Shazinski, and he's got a first down at the Tiger 20-yard line, a 9-yard gain. And this time, Dave, they went play action. They faked the run, and Walding hit threw a dart right to Shazinski.
And again, the execution by Dowling Catholic tonight is just excellent, Mark. That was a beautiful fake. He rolled Zachary inside, pulled the ball and pulled up and hit Shazinski wide open. Just a beautiful play.
Play went for 10 yards. They spot Shazinski down at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10, Dowling at the Valley 19. Maroons lead it by 10 points here with 1:55 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Now here's a handoff. They give this to Zachary. He gets outside the number, still on his feet, inside the 5, dives towards the goal line, but they're going to say he's out of bounds at the 2-yard line. A 17-yard run for Zachary, and a first down and goal now for Dowling.
I think it's coming back, Mark, with a holding.
They got a penalty on the play. Well, let's go down. We haven't heard from our sideline reporter. Let's go down to our Shields sideline report, and that is where, let's see, let's pick one of these guys. How about Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline? Brian?
Have converted.
Yeah,
They have converted 4 touchdowns on this series, and this taken about 6 minutes off the clock.
Yes, it has been a long drive, Brian, as we broke up a little bit. But this is a penalty, Dave, as you mentioned, holding on Dowling. And you know this is from the spot of the hold, so this will move the ball back to the 21-yard line.
And that's unfortunate for Dowling Catholic because they had a nice play there.
Zachary took it all the way down to the 1, so it's back to throw his Walding, and he fires in the near side, caught by Shazinski, and he's driven down right about the 15-yard line for a 6-yard gain.
Talk about nickel and diming a few people down the field, and they talked about that, converting on all those 3rd downs. It's tough to cover that 5-yard pass consistently.
And Shazinski and Sarcone are both 6'5", and I think Valley's struggling with that a little bit.
Here's Walding back to throw, and he's going to throw this away as he had backside pressure. Pass is incomplete, and credit the Tigers. They forced him to throw the ball quicker than he wanted to, and I think they had an extra man coming in, Coach Bornas.
Yeah, well, and not only that, he threw the ball in the direction of our athletic director, Brad Rose. He didn't even make an attempt at it. I don't know if I'd throw it to him
Brad
anymore.
was more of a baseball player, Coach, so he would not know what to do with that thing. It's called the football in that pigskin. All right, it's 3rd and 5 now for Dowling. The line of scrimmage is the Valley 15. The Maroons had it down to the 1-yard line by Zachary, but a holding penalty negated that. Back to throw is Walding. He fires in. He's got a man open the end zone. It's Wanek. Touchdown, Maroons. Again, Tommy Wanek gets loose, this time from 15 yards. And the Valley defense can't cover him for whatever reason, and he ran a nice route, Dave. Touchdown, Dowling.
Well, they're really spreading Valley out. They had trips to the left and twins to the right, which makes it difficult on the secondary. And then they did some crossing patterns where their 2 outside receivers came inside. Wanek was inside, one outside, and that's tough to cover. And I think the secondary was a little confused on who had whom on that. And Wanek was open for the touchdown. Nicely thrown ball by Walding.
And Kurt has thrown his 3rd touchdown of the night as he went in for the extra point. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 1:30 to play here in the 3rd quarter, it's Dowling 31, Dowling 38, Valley 21 here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Back after these messages. And we're back here at Drake Stadium. Dowling leading Valley 38-21 here in this rivalry series presented by the U.S. Marine Corps as we are on Armed Forces Radio Network tonight, along with Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Here's a kickoff by Heeman, and Mason will let it go in the end zone, and it'll be a touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10. Valley from their own 20-yard line. Let's go down to Paul Yeager on the Valley sideline. Paul, a 19-play, 88-yard drive for the Dowling offense that took 5.5 minutes off the clock here in the third quarter.
I was tired for your voice, Mark. I mean, you get tired on a drive like that. That play was made possible, that touchdown by Cole Shazinski, because the previous play, he had been getting the one-on-one attention. He ran a slant through the middle that drew that defensive back in, left open the nice out, I guess if you want to call it, more like a flag pattern. That was a great design play. And also, Valley has struggled tonight to stop Dowling on 3rd down. This will be huge, Mark. If Valley goes 3 and out, that is a huge swing of momentum in this ball game.
That's a good point, Paul. We're kind of looking for what has been these game changers tonight and momentum changers, and now a pass over on the far sideline for Valley, caught by Hinkle, and he's moves the ball up across the 25 near the 26-yard line for a short pickup. But Keith Bornish, you heard what Paul said, and it's all of a sudden, Valley comes down and scores, but the Maroons go on a 5.5 minute or 6 minute drive to take the wind out of themselves, and now the Valley offense has to do it again.
They do, and it's a situation where Valley is going to have to start relying on some big plays, or they're going to have to do a hurry-up offense if they're going to try and drive the ball down the field.
That's what we heard from Coach Swenson coming out of the break. That's exactly right. All right, Valley with a 2nd and 4, line of scrimmage around 26. As they have an offset I formation as Mason in the backfield for the Tigers. As the Tigers have their fullback in, a receiver on each side of the formation, a tight end on the left. Back to throw is Lombardi, fires it out, caught by Hinkle. 30, slips a tackle, 35, still on his feet, 40, and still on his feet, 45, and finally hit and driven down at the 45-yard line. Picked up the 1st down and picked up 20 yards on the play.
On the previous play, Moses DeWall was in on that coverage and made a nice solo tackle. On this one, it was the same type of play, other side of the field, and he missed the tackle this time, and that allowed the Valley man to pick up the 1st down.
That was Hinkle. He picked up 19 yards and a Tiger 1st down. Lombardi now will go under center. He'll work with the fullback this time out of the I, and a receiver on each side of the formation. Straight off handoff right side to Mason. Gets outside. He's near a 1st down. He's got it and more across the 40 inside Dowling territory. Finally knocked out of bounds right about the 36-yard line. Nice pickup that time and tremendous blocking that time for the Valley offensive line. Sam Rogers and Marcus Miles along with Glenecki at tight end.
Sometimes running backs will actually come up and make their linemen look pretty good. He got there quick, had to stop, turn around, and then all of a sudden, Valley's offensive line really did a nice job blocking.
They certainly did, and a 1st down for the Tigers in Dowling territory at the Maroon 37-yard line, an 18-yard run for Javon Mason. Offset I formation again for Valley. Play action, back to throw Lombardi. The ball is hit the line of scrimmage and taken down incomplete. And knocking the ball down for Dowling was big number 54, Dave Marcooley, who got his paw up there, deflected everything, and that was Dakota Streffler.
Dakota did a great job coming in. We haven't called his name much this year. He's in getting some reps tonight, and he reads pass, get your hands up, and fundamentally very sound, exactly what he's taught to do.
2nd down and 10 now for the Tigers. Line of scrimmage is the Dowling 37. The Maroons lead it 38-21. Final 6 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Lombardi out of the backfield. Straight back to throw. Now rush in the pocket. He's going to throw into the end zone. And he's got a man open. He gets behind a defender, and he makes the catch and drops it in the end zone. Incomplete. Oh, he'll want that one back. And that was Braden Heald, who had the ball and had the defender beat. But unfortunately for the Tigers, he couldn't come up with it. And the half or the quarter will end on that play. So we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Dowling 38, Valley 21 here at Drake Stadium on a rainy night here on the Armed Forces Radio Network, Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM, 88.5 and 94.5, and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Save big at Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee. New Chevy Malibu 1LT. Power price. $89 per month. Yes, $89 per month in Waukee. During Truck Month, get 25% off select new Silverado crew cabs. Select Silverados also come with 0% for 60 months. Plus, you keep the $4,000 rebate. New Silverado Double Cab 4x4 LT. Power price. $189 per month. Help us raise 10,000 pounds of food for the Waukee Food Pantry in September. Schottenkirk Chevy on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
And we're back here at Drake Stadium. Begin the fourth quarter here in the Great American Rivalry Series here on the Armed Forces Radio Network. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcoullier, and Coach Keith Bornes. I got a Dowling coach and a Valley coach in the booth with me. It's Dowling Valley. Paul Yeager and Brian Morris on the sideline. We've come to the fourth quarter. Valley now with a 3rd and 10 from the Dowling 37. Maroons lead at 38-21. And now Barney can't handle the snap. Loose football, and it's still loose. And boy, who got it, Dave Marcoullier? Because they had everybody going for it. The Maroons were pointing one way, Valley pointed the other, and the officials say 4th down. So Valley recovered the fumble.
That was kind of a great piece of luck for Valley to get back on that ball. To give Dowling an opportunity at midfield, not a good situation. Marcus Miles able to get back on that ball, bringing up 4th down.
A 9-yard loss in the play, and the Valley will bring in their punting unit. And I'll tell you what, last time the Tigers punted, Peyton Long did a good job just getting the punt off after mishandling the snap on a bad snap, and he got it away. So Dowling now will send Jack Kerner back at his own 10-yard line, waiting the snap and the punt by Peyton Long. Long gets a good snap, gets it away. It's a high kick, and Kerner will fair catch it at about the 12-yard line, and that's where the Dowling offense will take over. 1st and 10. Maroons will be on offense from their own 12-yard line with 11-12 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Let's go down to the sideline, and let's go to, let's see if Paul Yeager's over in the Valley sideline. Paul?
Are you supposed to, am I supposed to be paying attention to this game? Oh,
Who are you talking to?
Hey, we're talking all sorts of things. We're looking at scores. Southeast Polk tonight knocking off Centennial for homecoming over there, 37-0. Looking at Waukee up on Johnston. We're kind of looking at some of the other scores, but that would have been the first turnover of the season if the Tigers would not have gotten the ball back. But they at least flipped the field just a little bit. Let's see if they can hold field position.
All right, Paul, thanks for that report. Dowling with Kurt Walding in at quarterback. The give is right up the gut, and that is Cole Deskin across the 25. And he gets across maybe to the 26-yard line on 1st down. Deskin and Zachary have been in the backfield a lot for Dowling. And it seems like Kurt Walding is now at quarterback. We've seen J.T. Brown a little bit. We've seen both quarterbacks in for a touchdown earlier in the game, Dave, and now Kurt Walding is in for another series.
And that was the power play again to the right side behind Alex Palmy and Zach Ross doing nice blocking. And Mark, another 19-play drive would be pretty good for the Dowling Maroons.
Well,
here.
It would look real good. I think Coach Bornes would disagree with you and the Valley fans, but Maroons are taking a lot of time between plays. They're trying to get that play clock down. Now give is to the tailback on the read option. Walding hands it off, and Deskin is stacked up at the line of scrimmage for little or no gain, so it'll bring up 3rd and 5 from the Dowling 17-yard line. Deskin gains 6 yards on 1st down. I want to mention some of our supporters tonight. Thanks to St. Gregory Treat Centers for underwriting our broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. St. Gregory, the new standard for recovery, stgregoryct.com. And our thanks also to Win Communications, brought to you in part by Windmail USA and Win Communications. Appreciate their support as they provide web marketing and email marketing and permission-based email services. Go online at wincommunications.com. Now Dowling with a 3rd and 4 from their own 17-yard line. Walding on the read option to give us to Zachary. He plows up the gut, and he's got the 1st down. He crossed the 20 up near the 23-yard line. And David looked like he had little or no gap there on the right side of the offensive line, and then he just shot forward.
You know, Paul has been talking about key plays. There's a key play right there when you have 3rd and long and you run the ball up the middle, and you're able to pick it up with the clock running with 9:37 left in the football game.
Yeah, strong move by Zachary, and it's a 1st down Maroons at their own 22. Kurt Walding in the pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right, and he'll run left. He tries to turn the corner, avoids one tackler, still on his feet, and Kurt puts his head down and is driven down at the 25-yard line for a 3-yard gain.
We're now getting into the part of the game where even though Valley's defense is starting to stiffen up on the line of scrimmage, the clock is now either going to be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Exactly. And if you look at what Dowling's kind of a hurry-up team on offense, Coach Bornes, but they're getting that clock down to about the 10-second mark, and there's a team in Des Moines that does that. That's Grandview. They have to work hurry, but when they're ahead, they're going to be very slow. And Dowling's now got that play clock under 15. Now here is a 2nd and 7 play, and the give is to Zachary. Once again, he spots through there from the 25 at midfield, and finally wrestled down in Valley territory at the Tiger 43. Jacob Zachary throwing some skills there, Dave Marcouli, not only turning the corner, but some afterburners.
Well, he saw an opening, and he turned him on there. And Cole Szynski was downfield, had a nice block, which allowed Zachary to pick up maybe 10 more yards, but he's disappointed with himself because he let that receiver or cornerback go to make the tackle.
32-yard run for Jacob Zachary, and he's already got a touchdown run earlier in the game of 76 yards. And it's a first down Maroons at the Tiger 43-yard line. Kurt Walding in at quarterback. And we're running out of the pistol formation with 2 receivers to the right, tied into Stevie Sarcone on the left side. And read option, Walding will keep it, put his head down, and he could cross the 40 and down to the Tiger 39 for about a 4-yard gain and bring up 2nd down and 6.
Running to the right side again behind Palmy and Ross. And, you know, we got to mention Matt Lawler, Mark, who's been in at left guard for Pete Ryan, who's out tonight, who was ill most of the week. But Matt, I've been watching him. He's doing a great job.
All right, 2nd down 7. Walding gained 3 in that last carry. Line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line. Here's Walding, the give once again. This time it's Deskin in the backfield, tries to turn the corner, and he's finally run out of bounds. Inside the 35, they'll mark him down at the 33 for a pickup of 7. And it's near a first down. Let's see how short or if he's there. It'll be close. Now they're going to stop it back to the 33-yard line, so it's a 7-yard run, and it'll bring up 3rd and 1 for Dowling. They need to get inside the Valley 32.
This might be the first time the clock has stopped this half.
You're right, Coach. Out of the pistol formation, 3rd down and 2. Valley showing blitz, and now penalty flags down, and what we got here? It's delay or procedure call against the Dowling Catholic Maroons. So that'll back them up 5 yards.
And those are the plays or the penalties that have killed Dowling in the past 2 weeks, where they're 3rd and a yard, less than a yard, and they just shoot themselves in the foot there. And so Coach Wilson, I'm sure, will be greatly pleased with the number of penalties that they have not gotten tonight, but that's not a good one.
Well, instead of 3rd and short, it's 3rd and 6 now for Dowling from the Valley 38. And now back to throw is Walding. Kurt keeps the football, puts his head down, moves the pile inside the 35. And as you can see on our webcast, still moving the pile. Where's he going to get the spot at? Those guys like a rugby scrum down there, gentlemen. They're going to spot him down at the 32-yard line. If that's the case, that'll be a first down.
Well,
Near side,
I think he's got it. He's got it, Mark.
The head linesman said first down.
By the length of the football.
How about that? Kurt Walding, but you got to give the guys up front, Dave, all the credit. You mentioned the guy who got the start, Matt Lawler at left guard, Peter Nank at left tackle, Matthew Bates at center for Dowling, Zach Ross and Alex Palmy, and then Stevie Sarcone at tight end. Those guys pushed that pile.
Yeah, they really did a great job of keeping their feet moving and picking up that first down.
Paul Yeager might agree that could be one of the plays of the game, too, sustaining the drive.
It was one of those very good plays.
It certainly was. Out of the pistol formation, first down Dowling at the Valley 32, and now check that, Walding fakes it to Deskin, keeps it, tries to turn it outside and can't. Valley defense there on coverage, and may have lost a yard back to the 34-yard line.
This is one of those instances where Dowling has done such a great job running the ball up the middle with their backs and quarterbacks. Now's the time where they mix in a couple of passes. They become big plays.
Well, it brings 2nd and 12 for Dowling back at the 34-yard line, a loss of 2, as the Maroons now getting their offenses set in. They got new receivers in there, and they're going to line up Tommy Wanek and Cole Szynski wide right. Walding will work out of the shotgun with Deskin behind him. Here's a snap to give to Deskin. Right up the gut he goes, and he may have gotten back to line of scrimmage, and that's it. Good job of penetration there by the Tiger defense as they were there at the point of attack. Making the stop, Caleb Herrick, number 34, and he had a few friends with him.
Now, any other time you have 2nd and long like that, Coach Wilson is going to throw the ball, but with that clock, I think he likes that. It's his friend now watching that thing tick down, and he doesn't want to disappoint his buddy up there.
Game clock is at 5:40 and counting. Dowling leading 38-21 over the Valley Tigers. Fourth quarter here at Drake Stadium. The rain is held off as it started about the first half and then quit, and we're going to see a timeout Dowling on a 3rd and 11. So we'll take a break with 5:31 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 38, Valley 31. You're listening to tonight's game, rivalry game between Dowling and Valley here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the tea.
Yeah.
There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
To do a couple of interviews on this side too, if you want, at least.
All right, back at Drake Stadium here in Des Moines. Mark Amadale, Dave Marcouli, and Keith Bornes, and now Dowling with a handoff. And quarterback Kurt Walding hands it off to Zachary, and he stood up in the line of scrimmage, and Tigers sent Dowling on another loss there, Dave, as moving all the way back to the 35-yard line. Loss of 2 to bring up 4th down for Dowling, 4th and about 14 for the Maroons.
Well, I think they knew Dowling was going to run the ball to keep the clock moving, and they really brought the house that time and nothing there at all. I'm sure Dowling's going to run this all the way down and probably, well, I was going to say attempt a field goal the way he's been kicking, but it's probably a little bit out of his range.
Well, game clock running under 4:50 left. Timeout situation. Valley has all 3 of theirs. Dowling with 2. The play clock down to no time, and Dowling's going to just take the penalty.
And then they'll punt it.
All right, want to mention some of our supporters of tonight's game here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. They include Two Rivers Glass and Door. They provide commercial glass and aluminum storefronts, custom and specialty glasses for your homes, online at tworiversglass.com. And don't forget Jethro's Barbecue. We got the original down the street here from Drake University on Forest Avenue. They have several locations in Altoona, Ankeny, Johnson, Waukee. Before or after the game, Jethro's. They have plenty of smoked meats, ribs, wings at 6 metro locations. And that's Jethro's. We want to thank them for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Tonight's webcast, as the Maroons now forced to punt. Line of scrimmage will be the 41-yard line after the penalty. Here's Heeman with the ball, and he gets the punt away, angles it for the far corner, and it'll be caught by Valley at the 10-yard line. And tripping up that time on the punt return will be
Ross Oddie with one hand.
That's Tristan Cobb who made the return, and the Tigers will have it 1st and 10. And Oddie does have one hand. He has one hand in the cast and the other. So, well, Brian Morris, let's go down to you. We'll try your mic here. I know it's been cutting out throughout the night, but the Dowling offense took a lot of time off the clock. Once again, they almost took 5 minutes off the clock in that last drive, Brian.
Yeah, the Maroons really did. And you think back the first 2 games, guys, 10 penalties, games 1, 13 in last week's game. Tonight, very cleanly played by this Maroon team.
All right, the Tigers with 4:30 left to play here in the fourth quarter have a first down. Back to throw is Lombardi now in the pocket. Has plenty of time, now steps up, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. As coverage downfield, they had 2 or 3 receivers out on a route, and they were well covered, and Rocky just had the pocket converge on him there, Coach Bornes.
Yeah, you know, and it's one of those situations where you think a guy has plenty of time and he'd be able to get rid of that ball. But when you have a coverage sack like that, you know your defense is playing very well.
Lombardi actually gained a yard out of it, so 2nd and 9. Lombardi looks left, fires it out. It's caught by Hinkle, and he's hit and driven down, and that's Moses Duwa hitting him head on. And Moses, that's the hardest hit I've seen that young man make. And it's for a short gain, and I think Hinkle might feel that.
Oh, my
he
goodness.
Looked like he's going to feel that.
Oh, my
Well,
goodness.
the last time I said he missed the tackle, he didn't miss this one. Holy
Dave,
cow.
He must have heard you.
He maybe heard me. That's okay. I hope he hears me all the time then.
They'll move the ball up the 24-yard line, so a 4-yard reception, and Hinkle might feel that tomorrow morning. It's 3rd and 6 for Valley. Maroons
Ryan Mills coming out with an injury, Mark.
and being replaced in the lineup by Dowling's Willie O'Hara. So here we go, 3rd and 6 for the Tigers. Lombardi out of the shotgun from his own 24. Sets up in the pocket, fires across the middle. The pass is thrown behind him and incomplete, nearly picked off. Several maroon jerseys around the ball, Dave, and one of them almost had a chance to pick it up before it hit the ground. It'll bring up 4th down for Valley, 4th and 6 with 3:15 remaining.
Yeah, very nice coverage. Jacob Hummel is the one, I believe, who got his hands on it and almost came down with the interception.
So bring up 4th down. Line of scrimmage is the 23 for the Valley Tigers. 4th and 6, and it's like Valley's going to go for it at this time of night. Why wouldn't you? They're not going to bring in Peyton Long to punt it away. Last time this happened, Rocky Lombardi kept the ball. He has Mason in the backfield. Under center is Lombardi. Looks right rather. Now looks left. Now looks over the middle. Tries to throw it there. The pass is caught, and a 1st down catch by the receiver, and he took a lick that time, and he hung on to the football. Good job by the Valley receiver, and that's number 24 getting up. That's Jacob Morris, 5'10", 211-pound junior, and I'll tell you what, he made one heck of a catch, but he was hit when he made the catch.
You know, he's going to feel that tomorrow, but it's not going to hurt as bad tomorrow knowing that he hung on to it.
Well, I don't know how he caught that ball. Just a beautiful catch.
A 21-yard reception that time, 1st down Valley. Well, I said it would go through Lombardi, and it somewhat did. He threw the ball, but he threw it up there right over the middle. And I'll tell you what, Keith Bornes, he checked off right, checked off left. That must have been his 3rd or 4th option. Smart play by Rocky Lombardi. He has 3 receivers on a 1st down play for Valley. Back to throw Rocky. Fires it to the near side into the Dowling sideline. Incomplete into the Dowling bench. And I'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 2:44 remaining. Valley with all 3 timeouts. And they'll have 2nd and 10 from their own 42. But Rocky checked everything down on that play on 4th down.
He did. And, you know, that's a sign of a good, mature quarterback as a junior. Right now, it looks like he is putting the entire team on his shoulders, and so we're going to see just how broad they are.
All right, Tigers break the huddle with a 2nd and 10 play from their own 42. Back to pass Lombardi, looks right, now scrambling from the pocket, still on his feet, avoids tacklers, rolling to his left, fires the ball downfield. He's got a man open, and that is Mason, and he dropped the ball at the 23-yard line. And Coach Bornes, I can count that on my hand tonight. At least 3 or 4 of those. Rockies laid it right into the receiver's hands, but they have not caught it.
Yes. You know, you're looking
Tough
at
break.
It's a tale of 2 cities inside the same city. We got Dowling, who is just playing dynamite football tonight on both sides of the ball, and Valley just isn't clicking. They came out quick. It looked very good. Now getting a little stagnant.
Right now it's 3rd and 10 once again for Valley. Line of scrimmage is their own 42-yard line. Lombardi back to throw out of the shotgun. Fires the ball near side, and the Maroons jump the route, and they knock it down. Incomplete. 2 Dowling defenders right there as the receiver for the Valley Tigers also there, and that was Braden Heald, and he had 2 maroon jerseys in front of him that time, Dave Marcoulier.
And that was Jacob Hubble again, almost coming up with it, and he ran into
Heald. Braden Heald.
Was it Braden?
For Valley, and of course there was another Dowling defender. Well,
Drew Madden.
All right, Madden.
I couldn't come up with
Hummel.
his name.
All right, it's 4th down. Don't choke on that popcorn over there, Dave. 4th and 10. Valley from their own 42. Out of the shotgun is Lombardi. Now being chased. Rolls to his left. Wants to set up. Can't get his feet set. Avoids a tackle. Still on his feet. The ball is hit, and it's incomplete. They're ruled incomplete as the Maroon defense holds, and Dowling will take over on downs, and that might do it with 2:20 remaining. The Maroons up 38-21, and Brian Morris, you're amongst that. The Dowling defense in the sideline has really got those guys all pumped up.
Yeah, the sideline down here, guys, is going crazy. The fans had a great out tonight, going nutty. Again, this game away, and it's just a great effort out of the Maroons tonight. And, you know, the one thing we hadn't talked about, you know, Dowling still is a 2-time defending champions, guys. So coming into this game, I don't know if they felt they were getting respect on all the.
Well, it's been quite a ball game, and maybe a surprise to a lot of folks the way the scores turned out. 38-21 Dowling, the Maroon offense on the field. They'll take over 1st and 10 from the Valley 42-yard line, and J.T. Brown in at quarterback. The give is to Zachary. He goes left side, avoids a tackle, and then slides forward. Finally brought down inside the 40, down to the Tiger 37-yard line, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Nice run that time by Zachary. We want to thank our supporters of Dowling Catholic Football and here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, and of course Central Iowa Sports Network, as Keith Bornes and Paul Yeager will be back at Valley Stadium next week as the Tigers take on Hoover as district play opens up. Dave Marcoulier and Brian Morris, and we'll be in Council Bluffs, and we'll have to find out who's going to go with you. As unfortunately I can't make the trip, but we'll see who will go with you there. I want to thank also tonight Northwest Bank. Appreciate their support, and Skeffington's Formal Wear, skeffingtons.com, as Dowling now with a 2nd and 6. Maroons just going to take a knee as they're in the victory formation with J.T. Brown. I want to thank G&L Clothing and Schottenkirk Chevy, proud supporters of Central Iowa Metro League and high school sports all across the area, along with Godfather's Pizza and the Atlantic Bottlers. The Tyler family, great supporters, Atlantic Bottling Company. Thank you for your support. Well, Dave and Keith, it looks like the Maroons are just going to go in the victory formation here with 60 seconds left to play. Dowling letting that play clock run down, and they've got 15 on it.
You know, and you look at the scoreboard and you see that Valley does have 3 timeouts. You know, it's not that you just concede the game, but the likelihood of trying to come back in this short amount of time is so unrealistic. The best play is to not get anybody hurt.
And that's a big key for both teams. And we've seen people get nicked up in this game, Dave, both for Valley. We mentioned Cook has not been back since the first half, and Dowling's had some injuries. So,
you know, I was thinking that very thing with if I was Coach Swenson, watching my quarterback run all over the field there, knowing he's going to get a shot.
Yep.
He was under a lot of pressure from the Dowling front line, and someone was bound to get him sooner or later, and that's not what you want from your quarterback at that point.
Snap it one more time, and they'll kneel down. J.T. Brown kneels down, and Dowling's going to win it. Final score, 38-21 Maroons. Dowling goes to 3-0 on the season. The Tigers will fall to 3-1, and both teams will open up district play next week. Dowling traveling to Lewis Central of Council Bluffs for a 7:30 kickoff, and Valley Tigers back to Valley Stadium hosting Hoover, also with a 7:30 kickoff. And, of course, next week you can hear Dowling's game here on Iowa Catholic Radio, 88.5, 94.5, and 1150, as pregame coverage at 7 o'clock from Council Bluffs. And for the Valley Tigers, their pregame coverage on the Central Iowa Sports Network will begin at 7 o'clock with Keith Bornes and Paul Yeager. But again, the final, Dowling winning it by the score of 38-21, or they're going to stop the clock and put 9 seconds back on. So it's not over yet, the Valley offense on the field.
On that 4th down, once he put his knee down, it stops the clock and the change of
possession. So it's not over yet, folks. Got to put 9 seconds back. The Maroons back in prevent defense, and Lombardi, opportunity to work his magic. Here's the snap. Rocky chasing the pocket as he has been here in the second half. Rolls to his left, now reverses field to the right. Game clock is down to 0. Rocky's still running around. You don't want anybody hurt, as the coach said. He fires it downfield, and the pass is intercepted by the Maroons. They'll just fall down on it. So Dowling intercepts it near the end zone, and I think that was Sheedenholm maybe back on it. It was either he or another player, but the Maroons intercept it. The game is over, and Dowling a winner tonight in a very surprising score by the score of 38-21. And Dave, Keith, I think you guys, your expressions say it all, and mine does too. It's like, what a surprise. And it's not to say anything about Dowling. We've seen Dowling the first 2 weeks, Dave. 20 penalties in 2 games, uncharacteristics, shooting themselves in the foot, but yet the common denominator, I think, for the Maroons has been their defense. And tonight it certainly showed here in the second half when the Valley comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been picking on the secondary the first 2 games of the season, Mark, because, frankly, they have gotten beat. Tonight they did a great job. How many times did you see Lombardi running all over the backfield? And that's because of the coverage that Dowling Catholic was able to get on him. So you got to give credit to the secondary tonight along with the front 7.
And Keith Bornes, one of the Valley coaches, you know, Dowling containing the running game. Javon Mason and Austin Cook, who was injured in the first half. Cook had this touchdown, and then he didn't return after his 10-yard run. But the Maroons really forced Valley to throw. As Coach Swenson was talking about at halftime to Paul Yeager, they had to throw it.
They did. And, you know, when you talk about what Coach Swenson says in the pregame, he talks about it at halftime, he talked about it again here at the end of the game as well. If you can't control the line of scrimmage, you can't play the game. You can't get it done.
Yeah, that is certainly true. Again, the final 38-21, Dowling over Valley. We'll start our post-game activities from Drake Stadium after this timeout. Dave Marcouli, you look just so excited as you normally do. We heard Coach Bornas's comments. Are you surprised? You see practice.
You know, I am surprised. I am and I'm not, because you never know on a Dowling Valley game, as we talked about in pregame, what's going to happen. So that doesn't surprise me. Now, if you base it on what we saw Dowling as we saw in the first 2 weeks, the number of penalties, the number of mistakes, the lack of a running game, those things. But now, tonight, they put it all together, and they stepped up to the plate, and we keep saying these young kids are going to grow up, and they grew up tonight, Mark. They sure did.
I appreciate that. Dave Marcouli and Coach Keith Bornas, appreciate you being here. We're going to start our post-game activities. We'll move to the other room. Want to thank a couple of our supporters here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. They include Learning RX, and you can reach them at learningrx.com as they have brain training and cognitive skills testing, helping children think, remember, read, and learn better. Train the brain, get smarter, Learning RX. And tonight's broadcast brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Better Business Bureau is a leader in marketplace trust. Before you choose to hire a business, check with the Better Business Bureau. Log on to www.bbb.org/Iowa. Final score again from Drake Stadium, 38-21. Dowling defeats Valley. We'll move to our post-game interviews. Paul Yeager and Brian Morris down on the field, both teams together. And, of course, the Armed Forces Network, the U.S. Marines will have their most valuable player. Paul Yeager and Brian will pick that up. But stay with us as we move to our post-game show after these messages. This is Mark Amadale with Dave Marcouli and Brian Morris, and, of course, Keith Bornas and Paul Yeager here on the program tonight. And we'll return after these messages.
Save big at Schottenkirk Chevrolet in Waukee. New Chevy Malibu 1LT. Power price. $89 per month. Yes, $89 per month in Waukee. During truck month, get 25% off select new Silverado crew cabs. Select Silverados also come with 0% for 60 months. Plus, you keep the $4,000 rebate. New Silverado double cab 4x4 LT. Power price. $189 per month. Help us raise 10,000 pounds of food for the Waukee Food Pantry in September. Schottenkirk Chevy on the west end of Hickman, Waukee.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
At Mid-American Energy, part of putting power in your hands is helping to keep families safe. That's why Mid-American provides free educational safety programs to schools, asks you to call 811 before you dig, have annual furnace inspections, and be aware of hazards at home. Mid-American Energy safely delivers electricity and natural gas to us in good times and stormy ones. That's Mid-American Energy.
Hi, we're the Waters Boys. I'm Todd. And I'm Thad. The best deals on Buick and GMCs are right here at Waters. Waters Autoland, 8 miles south of Des Moines, Indianola.
Catch the wave to Waters. Waters Autoland.
The field, that's where all the festivities are. Paul Yeager, Brian Morris is down there. And, gentlemen, take it away.
All right, thank you very much. The Dowling fans just, or the Dowling team, Brian, just went through their basically trophy presentation of the great American rivalry, and the Valley team just was addressed by Coach Swenson, and I'll get to Valley first, and then we'll be mostly Dowling here in the postgame. Coach Swenson was saying that was a very good team, and we will see them in the semifinals if they make it. I could imagine this is a game that easily could be played again in the Unidome in November.
Oh, I totally agree, Paul. You look around Central Iowa, these are the two teams around here. Valley's handled Waukee. Dowling had a close game with Waukee. I just saw Centennial lost again tonight, which kind of surprised me. I thought they would be that other team in Central Iowa. But, again, I think Central Iowa football is still a little bit ahead of that Eastern High. And I'd love to see not meet in the semifinals, but in the finals.
Well, that would be something we need to bring up with the boys and girls in Boone, but we'll let Amadeo do all that lobbying. But, Mark, we're going to get a couple of interviews here, and we'll be back with you in just a minute.
All right, thanks a lot, Paul and Brian, as both teams have breaking their huddles as we are once again live at Drake Stadium here on the postgame show. Dowling a winner 38-21, and the Maroons and Tigers hooked up in a battle in the first half. Is tied at 14 at the end of the first quarter before Dowling's Alex Heeman hit a 49-yard field goal to give Dowling a 17-14 lead with 6.5 minutes left to play in the second quarter. And then Kurt Walding hooked up with Cole Shazinski for another Dowling touchdown. The Maroons improved their lead to 10. And then at halftime, Dowling scoring with 9 seconds remaining for a 31-14 lead at halftime. And that's how the first half went. Let's go back down to, Paul Yeager and Brian Morris are still waiting for the interview. So in the second half, it wasn't a whole lot of scoring. J.T. Brown, or rather Hinkle, on an 11-yard reception from quarterback Lombardi, cut the Dowling lead to 10, 31-21, with just 7 minutes left to play in the third. But then the Maroons scoring on a Tommy Wanek 15-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Kurt Walding, and that was the final score of the night, 38-21, our final, Dowling over Valley in a drive that took 19 plays, 88 yards, and 5.5 minutes of game clock. So, well, Paul Yeager and Brian Morris, can we get back down to you as they're both trying to line up interviews, so we'll give them that opportunity. And Brian, take it away.
You know, guys, the players, they're doing something fun. We may get Tom right now because the players, they wanted to go celebrate with the students, which homecoming, guys, remember last year homecoming, we were at Valley Dowling game. Valley won. They sent the fireworks off for like 30 minutes after the game. But tonight the Maroons are out of there celebrating with the student body, so that's fun for those kids. So we'll talk to Coach Wilson here. Coach, you look at the score, 38-21. I wouldn't have predicted that coming in this game, but I thought this offense was a totally different team from the last 2 weeks.
It was. You know, we eliminated a lot of the mistakes, and we secured the ball, and, you know, crazy things happen when you do that. But I really thought, you know, our kids made plays. I thought our kids did a great job at the line of scrimmage. You know, this whole thing isn't over. I mean, you guys know that from last year, and you know, I think this year we have to understand that we're still early in the process, but really, really proud of the progress we made.
One of the players who we hope to get here, Tommy Wanek, he seemed to be open a lot, and I think a lot of that is his pass running routes. I thought the receivers tonight did an outstanding job of just running pure routes.
Oh, I did. Tommy's not a fast guy, but he's a passionate player, and he gives everything that he has, and it's important to him. And he wasn't totally healthy either. His body's beat up, and he kept going back in. The trainers would say, well, we got to watch Tommy, and all we do is watch Tommy go back in the game. So he'll be sore in the morning, but, you know, just him and others, you know, Szynski making plays. You know, Stevie Sarcone continues to make plays. And what I really liked is how we got our running backs, Deskin and Zachary, more involved in the offense.
Well, you think about that third quarter, I think it was about a 7-minute drive. I think you converted 5 of 5 third downs. Huge. A lot of those were a 5 little out pattern to Szynski, one to Sarcone across the middle. But that was just a great executed, that just kind of took the wind out of Valley sails.
You know, I think they said it was a 19-play drive. I don't know if I've ever had one with any more than that, but, you know, just a testament to our kids, again, executing and doing the things that they needed to do in order to win a ball game. So, again, just very proud of them. A lot of people thought, you know, why are we playing Valley at homecoming? They did it to us a year ago, but, you know, it's all about running towards the challenges instead of running away.
Well, Coach, congratulations to you, your 200th career win. So a good night for you. It's homecoming at Dowling, so congratulations, you and all the Maroons.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Coach. We're going to talk to Mr. Zachary here. We've talked to him before, but, again, MVP of the game. Coach said it. He wanted to get the running game going tonight, and it seemed like you guys did, and it opened up the passing game.
Yeah, the running, they definitely just blitzed right away off the run, and
and the pass was open every time they blitzed. So the running was awesome because they would just go back for the pass, then we would just run it right down their throat.
Well, you think about the first two games. I think the first game you guys had 10 penalties, last week 13. Things were so cleaned up this week. What was emphasized this week during the training or practice sessions?
Lots and lots of discipline. The running was exhausting, but it sure paid off. It was just everyone coming as a team and finally finishing off as a team and got the win against Valley.
Well, you're sitting here with some hardware, the trophy. There's been some great players who gathered that. I know I remember Connor Brevard getting that award. I think Michael Hudson got that award. Yeah. So you're an elite company. Congratulations. Enjoy homecoming. And are you going to the dance tomorrow night?
Yes.
Who's your date?
Harriet Hubble.
Okay, Harriet Hubble.
Yeah, Harriet Hubble. She's a nice girl. So.
All right. Well, have fun tomorrow night and get back to work next week.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to grab Tommy Wanick here. So, Tommy, talk a little bit about, we talked about the patterns you were running, and it seemed like the players were not around you, but it was your pass running ability that got yourself open.
Oh, all shout out to Van Veen. He worked on our footwork this offseason and got us rolling and got us some touchdowns.
But you did a great job. It looked like as a team, the running game was opening up for you on the passing. And then we talked to Coach Wilson about that 7 for 7 on third downs in that third quarter, and you guys just took the winds out of their sails with that 15 play, 8-minute drive.
Well, I mean, it's all through practice. We practice like we play. Every practice, we have to go out there like it's a game. If we perform bad in practice, we're going to perform bad out in the game.
And I think you're a West Des Moines kid, so how special is this beating the Tigers?
Oh, it feels good. I got a lot of friends over at Valley. It feels good to rub it in once in a while to them.
Well, no, here's the deal. You always rub it into them.
Always. Yes, always.
Okay, excellent. Well, great game tonight, Tommy. And I know you have a homecoming day tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah, Olivia Perez. It's going to be fun.
Okay, well, you guys enjoy homecoming. Get back to work next week because district play starts, and that's when the real fun begins.
Oh, yeah, go Maroons.
Excellent. Great job, Tommy.
All right, thanks a lot with Brian Morris and with interviews with Coach Wilson, Jacob Zachary, and Tommy Wanick. Let's go down to Paul Yeager. Paul, have you trying to think who he's got as Brian hands off the mic? Paul Yeager on the sideline. Go ahead, Paul.
I was just kind of listening and enjoying Brian, and I was just talking to a couple. I tell you what, these Maroons pretty excited about this one. Coach Swenson, again, I just kind of want to follow up a little bit of what he said following the game, and that was we got beat by a better team. Could be some personnel changes. Clearly not happy with some of the performance on some of those lines. The key thing, Mark, that Brian and I discussed, and other people especially on the Valley sideline, is I kept saying third down. That was huge. 7 straight third downs that Dowling converted tonight. Tigers could not get anything stopped, Brian, and that was just one of those. Every time you think you got them pinned back, Dowling went and wiggled something out.
You know, we almost valleyed Valley tonight because historically when Dowling's been beaten by Valley, that is exactly the game plan they do. They just wear you out. And Dowling for the last, 5 or 6 years have been big play teams, and this team's really not a big play team, and tonight we saw them the first 2 weeks, Paul. I was surprised and shocked how well this offense played.
Javon Mason drops that pass on the far sideline. I don't think that would have been a game changer. It would have made it closer. I mean, it still was 17 points at that point. You could maybe say they'll score in 2 plays, onside kick. Maybe they get 14, but I certainly don't think Valley was going to score 17 points in the fourth quarter, especially against this Maroon defense tonight.
Well, and you think back to last year, that right after the championship game, I was talking to Ryan Boyle, and he said that loss was probably the best thing for that team. Valley has to take that same attitude tonight and say, we're still a darn good football team. We just got beat tonight. You get rid of this game, and Iowa playoffs, it doesn't matter. It's one and done, and you come out and you play. So both teams have to come out. Dowling has to curtail their excitement because they've got 5 games and then the playoffs, and coach has to rein them in and make sure they don't think that they're the world beaters that they were tonight. But, that's the fun of football.
And now all those distractions are out of the way. The Valley game and homecoming same week.
Well, there's still the homecoming part tomorrow night that that you got to get through. So we'll get through that. And the Maroons, like I say, they want to come back and work. And this team wants to set their own legacy. They've enjoyed being part of the team, these championship teams for the past 2 years. But these seniors, they want to set their own legacy. And with 21 new starters this year, they're starting to do that.
All right, that's what we got down here. Let's go back up to you for the final time.
All right, Paul and Brian, thank you very much for sideline reports tonight. They didn't need the umbrellas too much. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll finish up in
in the press box. Dave Marcoullier, Keith Bornes, Dowling and Valley coaches will join me, Mark Amadale, for final thoughts following tonight's win. Dowling 38-21 win over Valley, and we'll continue our post-game show here on Iowa Catholic Radio, the Central Iowa Sports Network, and the Armed Forces Radio Network. We'll be back at Drake Stadium in Des Moines after these messages.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
The other guys, they think they know what special means. At Godfather's Pizza, we do special, and we do it better. We add the T. There's a Godfather specialty pizza with your name on it. Classic combo, all meat combo, hot stuff, taco, yeah, even veggie and more. All of them piled high with the best toppings and 100% real cheese. Treat yourself special. Order specialty pizzas from Godfather's Pizza.
Action! Fireplace Superstore is growing. We're building a great new location next to our current store at 109th and Douglas. Cut! What? Action! We don't want to move it, so we're putting everything on. Cut! Action! Our warehouses are too full, and this building's going to go up fast, so we need you to. Seriously, please help us move. Everything's on sale. Fireplaces, patio furniture, grills, fire pits, they're all on sale at Fireplace Superstore, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue in Urbandale.
And welcome back to Drake Stadium as we have final comments tonight here on the postgame show on Iowa Catholic Radio, the Central Iowa Sports Network, and the Armed Forces Radio Network. Mark Amadale joined by Keith Bornes and Dave Marcoullier. This is where we started, guys, and this is where we end. What a night it was. Rivalry game, Dowling and Valley. And Dave, we'll start with you. The Maroons victorious. Who would have thought? It was kind of a surprise, and I don't want to underplay what Dowling's done, but after 2 games, we didn't expect this. I don't think Dowling fans are surprised. I think the coaching staff knew something was up.
Yeah, the only thing we expected is that it was a possibility. You never know, but based on what we have seen the previous 2 games, too many mistakes and things, but boy, did they put it together tonight. And Mark, for any game plan to be successful, number one, you got to have a good developed game plan. Dowling coaches, congratulations for that. And number 2, the kids have to execute it. And boy, they did a great job in their execution tonight. The penalties were greatly reduced. Everything was just greatly improved over the previous 2 games, and congratulations to Dowling Catholic.
All right, and Coach Bornes, you know, from the Valley perspective, you start district play next week, you host Hoover, but yet you got to put this behind us. As we find out every year, Dowling Valley, where you win or lose a game, you got to put the week behind you and get ready for your opponent. And I think Coach Swenson, he's a veteran coach. Both teams have won 5 state titles. He knows what it takes, and he'll get his team turned around. Paul mentioned a little bit about maybe some personnel changes, but when you see the film, some injuries and whatnot, both teams had it, but the Tigers will prevail, I'm sure, as they move on to district play.
Well, yeah, you know, from this game forward, both Dowling and Valley are going to have some vast improvements. And the one thing that Dowling's going to have to do, if they're going to make another run for it, what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to play like this again. One thing that Valley's going to have to do is just make the improvements and execute, as Dave was talking about. Execution is the key to everything. District play, you know, coming off of this game, sometimes you have that little bit of a letdown. You're very optimistic about coming into the game. You have a letdown. It didn't go your way. So Valley coaching staff is going to have some work to do just to make sure that we enter the season or the district season on a positive note, and it's going to start with practice on Monday.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for being a part of this broadcast. We brought both coaches in, Dowling and Valley, rivalry game, U.S. Armed Forces Radio Network, nationwide and worldwide, so we appreciate that. And that'll wrap it up from Drake Stadium. Valley home next week. They will host Hoover in district play. Paul Yeager and Coach Bornes will have the call, 7 o'clock on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Dave Marcoullier and Brian Morris, they'll be in Council Bluffs, Lewis Central, and Dowling as they get district play start district play then. This is Mark Amadale once again from Drake Stadium, thanking you for joining us tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our thanks to our supporters and sponsors, for Pete Tarpey and the Central Iowa Sports Network, for The folks behind the scenes at Iowa Catholic Radio, that include Kristen Dalen and Braden Dalen. Jerry Bruddy's our executive producer. We appreciate you listening and tuning in tonight and watching the rivalry game between Dowling and Valley. That'll do it. Once again, the final, Dowling 38, Valley 21. From Drake Stadium in Des Moines, this is Mark Amadeo.